Cape's leader, sports radio play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod. Guy Benson.
Diving stop Espinosa gets to his feet, fires to first base in time.
And Dan Duva.
Diving play front, gets up and throws. He got him! Oh, Nelly.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Chatham A's Baseball on TRZ Team Line.
Go A's! Chatham A's Baseball. Sports radio play-by-play. Let's go A's! Wooden bats through the fog playing under the lights. The stars of tomorrow shine tonight. No one else can beat them. Come on out and see them. Chatham A's Baseball, summertime on Cape Cod.
From Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts, you're listening to Chatham A's Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hello again, everyone. I'm Dan Duva alongside Guy Benson. We're back celebrating our 20th season on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Your esteemed broadcasters Joe Puccio, Ian Unsworth have the evening off, so the old-timers can come back and take the play-by-play reins. It is a distinct pleasure and honor to be reunited with my original broadcast partner here in Chatham, Guy Benson. Hello, Guy.
Oh, hello, Dan. Fancy seeing you here. 20 years, my goodness. And if you just squint a little bit, it looks almost exactly the same. It is a drop-dead, gorgeous day here in Chatham, just a perfect Cape League summer day, and you can't ask for more than this. The Anglers and their arch rivals, the Firebirds, up from Orleans, and we're going to see if we can still do this together, bringing you the action here. 20 years removed from starting this whole enterprise, and it's a real pleasure and a privilege to be here.
There will be stories throughout the evening about the origins of the broadcast, and we'll have some familiar faces and voices joining us. We'll have John Schiffner, longtime Chatham A's manager, join us not only for the manager show coming up, but also we'll have him for the play-by-play and the color commentary. So a little bit of a three-man booth, plus some other surprise guests later on. We also have the return guy of Duva's Dugout. They let me do a Duva's Dugout.
Well, I think you overruled anyone who would say you can't, right? So you just rolled in and start making the rules. But we've got a lot ahead here. On the pregame show, Anglers Extra, as Dan mentioned, Duva's Dugout is back. We'll have a live edition of the former manager show with John Schiffner, an on-field ceremony, an above-field ceremony. Oh, there's a lot of excitement coming here pregame. It is the Chatham Anglers getting ready to play host to the Orleans Firebirds. The crowd will fill in on this gorgeous early evening on Cape Cod. Guy Benson and Dan Duva with you. It's the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC.
Chatham Bars Inn is Cape Cod's premier four-diamond oceanfront resort. With 217 luxurious rooms, guests have access to numerous amenities, including a private beach, complimentary children's programs, 4 award-winning restaurants, a new world-class spa, an outdoor pool, and tennis courts. Year after year, Chatham Bars Inn is recognized as one of the top resorts in the world. Chatham Bars Inn and Cape Cod Baseball. Summer fun for the whole family.
Hey, this is Kenny Mayne from ESPN. Whenever I'm in Chatham or at the Chatham Bars, I listen to none other than Guy Benson and Daniel Duva with the Chatham A's. It's good listening. Those two know how to call their baseball.
At Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts, I'm Dan Duva with former Chatham A's closer Derek Lutz. It's time for Duva's Dugout. Derek, who has been a guest in Duva's Dugout multiple times, as we were listening back to some archived interviews, Derek, from 2005, 2006, when Derek was here. What comes to mind having listened to some of those old chats?
Oh, it just brings back really good memories, great memories of Chatham, great memories of, baseball on this field right here. This is just the place everybody wants to be, and that hasn't changed, and I love that about here.
You know, it's been fun to chat with you, of course, and reminisce the last few days, but it's also been fun for me to introduce you to a number of folks who were not around Chatham back in 2005 and 2006, and I think of all the different ways I might introduce you to someone. How do you like to be introduced as it relates to your connection to the Chatham A's?
I like former closer of the Chatham A's, 2005. You know, everybody talks about our team being one of the best teams that never won a championship in the Cape, and you know, that was a special group, and I love that when somebody says, "Oh wow, you're the closer," you know, that's a great honor.
And I also like to add in the fact that you gave up, and I normally don't tell people, I ask, you know, guess how many earned runs Derek gave up the entire 2005 regular season? And, you know, they'll guess 5, 3. But the answer is
0, right? 0 runs?
0
Yes.
runs in the 05 regular season. First of all, how the heck did you do that?
I don't know. I mean, we had a great defense. You know, we had Chris Coughlin's, the Evan Longoria's, Todd Frazier's. You know, you have guys like that behind you. And, you know, for me, I was a sinker ball pitcher, so I needed those guys in the infield. But looking back, those guys, clearly they could play a little bit.
Yeah,
so.
and you were at George Washington University, where you were sometimes a closer, sometimes a relief pitcher. What do you recall about the role that you thought you would have here, especially against some players who were coming from Power 5 conferences?
Oh, that was definitely a big concern of mine, because I kind of flipped back and forth. I was a closer at GW as a freshman, and then I went as a starter as a sophomore. And coming up here, I didn't know what I was going to do. Nobody told me what I was going to do. And the first day I arrived, I sat down, and Schiff goes, "Here, come get on the cart." I get on the cart with him, and he goes, "Listen," he goes, "I need you to be the closer for the Chatham A's." And I said, "You got a deal." I'm like, "You got it." And he goes, that was pretty cool. That was awesome.
Especially considering the likes of the other pitchers on that staff. You had starters like Andrew Miller and Jared Hughes and Robert Woodard, not to mention David Huff and Chris Cody. You look into the bullpen, there you are as the closer. Got a setup guy in Brooks Brown, who, by the way, his ERA that summer was sub-1. You had Matt Danford, you had Josh Santeri. You just had a monstrous pitching staff. And as we can go through the history of all of those players, you mentioned John Schiffner, who has retired now 5 years since he stepped down after the 2017 season. What do you remember about meeting John Schiffner and having him as your manager?
Well, Schiff was he was a great guy. You know, he was a player's manager. He wanted to do, and you know, there's a lot of guys that say this is the transition to Major League Baseball. And Major League Baseball, that's what everybody wants. And I feel like this was the place to be, and Schiff was the manager to go to, because he adapted that same philosophy, that same mentality of, you know, I'm going to take care of my players and they will take care of me.
You seem to be one of the players who took care of the other players. How would you describe your role on the team, not so much as closer, but as ringleader?
Yeah, I mean, everybody wanted to get together every night, and somebody had to be in charge of all that, and there was multiple people. That was the great part about the group. Everybody would come together, and we'd make plans, and it was just an awesome time and an awesome group, and it felt like family, and it really made it a special experience.
It's remarkable to hear that. I mean, the season is 2 months. Very few of the guys know each other very well, unless they come from the same school. What was the key to making that team come together as quickly as it did?
I think everybody just knew how good we were going to be and how special the group was, and once everybody really bonded, it was all about the team. It was all about, hey, let's go out there and let's just have some fun. Let's make the best of this 2 months, 2.5 months, and let's see what we can do. And we all helped ourselves out in the process, and you know, it was awesome.
Yeah. And of course, you did come back for 2006, but that was shortly after you had been drafted by the Cincinnati Reds, and I want to ask you about that. But let me first ask more broadly, if you think about some of your great Chatham memories, whether it's on the field or off the field, what comes to mind?
Well, I mean, I tell the story all the time. In the playoffs 2005, we didn't win. We didn't beat Orleans in that series, but at the same time, you know,
first pitch in the bottom of the ninth inning.
First pitch, bottom of the ninth,
Brett
right?
Pill.
Yes, Brett Pill, left field, right into our own bullpen, and it was a humbling experience to have, you know, 4,000 people screaming. The field is shaking underneath your feet, and to be able to go back out for 3 innings in that game, and to be able to shut them down for us to get that game 1 win was huge. And that was the experience that I'll always remember.
I don't remember if I've ever asked you this before, but in the bottom of the 10th inning, with Orleans getting runners on base, there's a hard line drive to right field. Alex Presley from Ole Miss goes back. What did you think was happening? What did you see?
Oh, I was nervous. That was a nerve-wracking time because we had bases loaded in that situation, and that was stressful. I thought we were in trouble, but again, like I said before, we had a group of guys behind us that would make any play for you. And as a pitcher, that's all you can ever ask for.
Yeah, Presley makes the catch. Chatham goes to the 11th. Run comes home on a wild pitch. Then Josh Morris, a big base hit. Chatham wins game 1. Still, I think in all the years that I've been here, it was the most memorable single baseball game, and terrific season. But then I mentioned you come back in 2006, but that might not have been the plan for you. What's the story?
No, definitely not the plan. So I went back to George Washington and for my junior year, just before draft time, and had a little bit of an elbow issue, and just wasn't quite as healthy as I needed to be. Draft happened, and long story short, I had to come back here to Chatham, and I called Coach Schiff, and I said, hey, I need to come back. I need to do a little draft and follow with the Reds. Is that a thing? Can we do that? He goes, absolutely. He goes, however long you need, he goes, you come back here. We'll take care of you.
Yeah, and what were the few weeks like leading up to the time where you eventually did sign?
They were good. Again, anytime you're in Chatham is a good time, right? But very stressful because you had to go out there and prove yourself. You were proving yourself to a group of people that had already taken you. They had your rights, and it was, hey, look, I need to see if you're healthy or not. So every time you went out, it was a pressure-packed situation.
Yeah, and that is in the midst of another very important development. As I mentioned a few moments ago, I think of introducing you as Chatham A's closer from 2005, guy who had a 0 ERA in the regular season that year. But then the next thing that comes to mind is something that has almost nothing to do with baseball, and that is a certain Cheez-Its box and a relationship that came from it. What's that story?
Absolutely. So, I met my wife in Chatham, which was fantastic. I met her in the bullpen. We were doing things that guys do in the bullpen, trying to meet people in the stands, and met my wife, and that was a pretty cool situation. So, from there, I have 3 great kids. We come back here. We have a home here on the Cape. We have a family business that's here on the Cape. So many good things have happened from Chatham that every time I come back here, it's just, I just love this place.
And you meet Danielle in the bullpen in 2005, and then you decided when you were choosing a place for a wedding, rather than your native Pennsylvania or her native Florida, you chose...
We're going back to the Cape, right? So, yeah, we went to the Winslow Estate in Orleans. I had the most beautiful wedding there, had a bunch of family, friends. It was just
and people
an awesome
from the Chatham A's.
Exactly.
Too, as I recall.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Host families, members from the team. It was a great experience, and it's changed my life for the better.
Yeah, and the broadcaster, I think, made an appearance as well.
Uh-huh.
The cool part about all of this, I'm sure for you, has to be coming back not only with your wife Danielle, but also with the kids. What do you see in your kids when they see this?
They're getting to the age now where they're starting to really understand. They're starting to understand baseball. I have a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old that are both boys, and they love the game. One loves baseball, one really likes, the broadcasting side of things. And to be able to show them around and show them what this is all about, how the whole production happens of not only the game, but the radio, the video, everything. That is just it's an awesome experience for them.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe you were not only the closer for the Chatham A's in 2005, you might also have been given the title producer of Duva's Dugout that year. Is that right?
That's right. If I had to take a guess, I want to say I do hold the record for most appearances on Duva's Dugout, and I am proud of that.
Right, we're adding to that right here,
exactly.
Clearly.
Yes.
Clearly. Well, when you think about watching these guys out here now and having kids who are playing baseball, your experience having played here, what do you think you'd want the current group of Chatham A's to know?
Well, I think if I could tell them one thing, it wouldn't be anything about the actual game itself. I think it would be on the outside to just soak this all in, right? Soak the experience in, take the fact that these kids, they look up to them as, you know, something more. Like they don't necessarily know that you're just a baseball player. They think of you as more than a baseball player, and to take that experience and just soak it in, because at some point in time that won't. And it's fun, you know. Sign every autograph, talk to every kid, give away as much as you possibly can.
Well, truer words haven't been spoken here, other than perhaps once you get sand in your shoes, you always come back to Cape Cod.
Yes, you do. There's no doubt. Yep, this is a place you always want to be.
Yeah, they can't keep us away. Well, we've run out of time on Duva's Dugout. We often go way long on these things, but Derek, it's been a great pleasure seeing you back in Chatham and having you here on our 20th season reunion broadcast in Duva's Dugout. Thanks, Derek.
Dan, thank you, sir.
Now back upstairs to Guy Benson as the Anglers Extra pregame show continues.
With the anthem underway.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
A sun-kissed field here in Chatham, Massachusetts. The Star-Spangled Banner not too far removed from Independence Day. And we will step aside briefly here on the Anglers Extra pregame show. When we come back, a lot of goodies, including the manager's show, the lineups, the first pitch, all upcoming, much in store. Stay with us. It is the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Guy Benson and Dan Duva with you.
Anglers Extra. Chatham on TRC. Cape Cod.
Sweet Tomatoes Pizza, located right around the corner from Veterans Field at 790 Main Street in Chatham. Pick up a pie on your way to the game or grab a calzone before first pitch. The dough for their specialty pizza is rolled right before your eyes. Eat in or take out, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and sometimes later. Call 508-348-0200. See their full menu online at sweettomatoescapecod.com. Sweet Tomatoes, a Chatham pregame tradition.
Hello, everyone. This is John Sterling of the New York Yankees, and you're listening to Chatham A's Baseball with Guy Benson and Dan Duva.
Well, thank you, John, as we are back here in Chatham at Veterans Field getting ready for tonight's action. And at the moment, the field is full of first responders, members of the military, firefighters, police officers, and we are awaiting a flyover from a helicopter, which we understand is seconds away. And everyone is standing here at Veterans Field. A huge American flag is billowing in right center field. This has been a celebration of the country and first responders here in this pregame ceremony. We had an invocation, a prayer from a chaplain. We had the national anthem, which you heard right before our commercial break. And we do have coming up any moment a live edition of the Manager's Show with John Schiffner. And we're being told that the helicopter is about 2 minutes out, so let's bring Schiff in now. He's sitting directly to my right here in the press box. I don't believe we've ever done an interview up here. This is fun, and we'll be with you.
I don't know if there might have been some along the way during a rain delay or something like that. It wasn't an interview. I just stole the mic. You know. So does that count?
You'd have to fight Dan for the mic.
Well,
so
it was you. You were easy.
Arm wrestling. But we'll have you here on the broadcast for much of tonight's show, and we really appreciate your time. Just talk about this scene as we watch out and we watch this beautiful setting, awaiting this very cool entry from, I believe, a Coast Guard helicopter. Mm-hmm. The Anglers do have a flair for the dramatic when it comes to these types of ceremonies. Well,
I hope nobody lands in that tree out there in right field.
That's too dramatic.
Yeah, well, it happened in 2000. We had a beautiful flyover. We had the Olympic team here, and we're playing a Cape Cod Select All-Star team, and there was a beautiful flyover by some F-14s, and then they were supposed to, three jumpers were supposed to deliver the ball to the pitcher's mound. Unfortunately, one missed, and he ended up in that tree that's still there. So but it was a tough day, a tough wind, I think. But this is Americana right here. This is so special. You look around, and you want to come to Veterans Field. This is the atmosphere. This is the view. This is what people come here for, along with the game. Giant American flag. First responders out there. We're waiting for the helicopter to come in, and then we're going to play a ball game. And it's just, this is people would say it's a Rockwellian setting.
A minute out, apparently. You mentioned that 2000 event.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen more spectators at this venue than you did that day?
I don't think so. No, I don't believe
packed.
so. Yeah, they said there was upwards of 8,000 to 10,000 people there, and it was incredible. You could not see the grass on the outfield hill. There was 4 or 5 people deep. It was quite incredible. We've had some All-Star games here that had crowds that rivaled that, but I think that 2000 Olympics versus the Cape League All-Star team was probably the biggest crowd I'd seen here.
And sometimes, allegedly in this league, you'll get attendance figures that are perhaps slightly inflated.
Yeah, a little bit.
From time to time, but maybe not that day. You think that was a legit 8
I do.
grand?
Yeah, I really do. I mean, it was just mobbed. And I've been on this field many, many, many years for many, many big events. And that was, you couldn't see the playground. You couldn't see, it was just mobbed, absolutely mobbed. Shoulder to shoulder, butt cheek to butt cheek.
Let's toss it over to the public address announcer as we put the cherry on top of this pregame ceremony.
Powered by twin 1600 HP GE turbo fan engines. Here comes Air Station Cape Cod.
You can start to hear that chopper. You can hear the rudders. Where's it coming from? It's getting close. The press box shuddered as the Coast Guard helicopter flew overhead, bright orange and white. It circles. Both teams waving. The Anglers are behind third base, just off the lip of the grass, into the outfield, with the Firebirds shielding their eyes from the sun just outside their dugout on the first base side. This helicopter has circled back around. It is hovering now in right center field. And that is a pretty low arrival. Now tilts down towards us and flies straight back, almost bowing to the crowd here at Veterans Field. Everyone watching, smartphones out, cameras snapping away, and then a round of applause from everyone involved.
Manager Tom Holliday, please provide 3 baseballs and 3 catchers for a 3-person first pitch.
Back to the 2000 game. It was one of the most spectacular things I ever saw. We had the F-14 flyover, and we had the Cape Cod Chorale, I believe their name is, the singers at home plate, and they were singing the national anthem. And when they got to the last syllable of Home of the Brave, right on Brave came these 2 magnificent flying birds going over the top. I'm still getting emotional right now. It was, and they were probably 500 feet up. I mean, the whole place shook, but it was, the timing was just spectacular. Home of the Brave, and here they come across.
And to that point, this day and age, people can get cynical. It's been, in many ways, a tough couple of years in this country. And yet, I think something that unites almost every person in this country, and certainly here in Chatham today, is a great deal of affection and gratitude and respect for the men and women that we're seeing out there in uniform today.
No question.
Because all of this is fun and fluff that doesn't happen if we're not safe and protected. And whether it's the military, the police force, or firefighters who put their lives on the line and sacrifice so much, none of this really is possible. And I think it's always worth taking an extra moment to recognize these folks.
And I've never heard more people in just their normal life seeing, a fireman or a policeman or a soldier, a sailor, thank you for your service. You've never heard that as much as you've heard it now. It's always, people just don't miss it. They are very appreciative.
And 3 of them are actually going to throw out ceremonial first pitches, and they're getting introduced right now.
And Fire Department firefighter Tim Hunter.
3 members of the Anglers will receive these first pitches. And the guy from the Coast Guard is not messing around. He's right on the rubber.
Yeah, he's on the bump. He's ready. And these other 2 guys looking, going, I don't know if I can reach.
It's actually harder than it looks.
Yes, it is.
I've got a story there that I'll share in a moment, but here's the first pitch.
All right.
Coast Guard throws a strike.
Yeah, a little slider.
Firefighter close. Police officer bounced it, but right to the Anglers player. A round of applause for all involved. As the umpires now take the field, we are still 15 minutes or so away from tonight's first pitch. We will get you the lineups. We will get you the pitching matchup. I will tell you, Schiff, you're joking about the first pitch, but in my career, I moved on from sports. I do news and politics, and one of the stations that my show airs on is in Atlanta. It's one of our big affiliates, and I was going to go down there for a station visit. And they are the sister station in Dickey Broadcasting of the Atlanta Braves flagship. This was last season. And they asked me, hey, you're coming down. The Braves are home. They're playing the Cardinals. Any interest in going to see some Major League Baseball? We've got a suite. We've got everything. I said, do you have to ask me twice? Obviously. The answer is clearly yes. And so I'm excited. A couple days later, I get a follow-up. They want me, to throw out the first pitch for this game, and you have to say yes. You can't say no. But I was nervous because it is deceptive how far it is, and you see really good athletes bouncing it, embarrassing themselves. So I practiced. I practiced for a week with a next-door neighbor at a park, like these 2 grown men playing catch. I said, don't worry, there's a reason behind this. And I will say, according to the quote-unquote umpire, the mascot of the Atlanta Braves, I threw a strike. Braves won the game, won the series, then went on to win the World Series.
There you go.
And I am still waiting for my championship ring.
Yeah, I'd be sending some letters. I would. I'd really be sending letters.
Then I'll get a cease and desist letter. I think that's what will happen there. Dan, as we start to plan the rest of this on-the-fly pregame show, as I believe the ceremony perhaps went slightly ahead of schedule, do we want to have a conversation with Schiff about some of the discussions we had pregame with both coaches here, both managers of these 2 squads?
I think that's a great idea.
Where is he? Where did he go?
Well, my microphone was
His
not
mic
turned
was
on.
on
I'm trying to handle other matters here, but I think that's a great idea, Guy. Why don't we do that? I've never been invited on the manager's show before.
Well, it's a special 20-minute edition, Dan, so there's a first time for everything. We were chatting with both skippers, and you're not that far removed from this job for so many years, and you were actually down here honored a couple nights ago. It was fun for us to be part of that ceremony. Pretty cool thing. We'll talk about that later in the broadcast.
Awesome.
Setting aside the changes in the game and how the league now operates, it's a new era in a lot of ways.
Sure.
I said earlier in the broadcast, if you just squint a little bit, it looks and feels exactly the same.
No question.
And it's irreplaceable.
Right. It's the Cape Cod League. It is a unique entity, and it's part of the American, Americana. People just want to come here. I said that this winter, people will come. They don't even know what's really going on, but they hear, hey, there's a Cape Cod League baseball game. We're going to go. And they could be here in Chatham. They could be here in Bourne. We got to go. We got to find out what this is really all about. And no, that is still the same. It's the same. It's the baseball. It's the college kids. They're trying to find their way to the big leagues. Those things are not changing.
So, Schiff, as they are now exchanging the lineups near home plate, there have been some shifts in the game and some changes, not just here on the Cape, but just broadly to baseball, not even collegiate baseball.
All the way up to the major leagues, yes.
And I wonder, as you consider that and you look at what the game is today versus what it was, let's say, 20 years ago, given our anniversary here, what are the big changes? Are there pluses, minuses? How do you view that?
There's a lot to me, and again, it's only me. There's a lot of minuses. It's just not. it just isn't the same game now. There's too many things in the way. One of them, the agents. The agents have more control over the players than ever before, and that's one of the reasons why I kind of said it was time to leave. Is when you're not getting the truth from anybody anymore. You think you're getting a kid for the whole summer, and all of a sudden, in July 10th, hey coach, I'm going home. What do you mean? You hurt? Did you see the trainer? Oh no, I'm tired. What? You're tired? Jeez. And you find through the grapevine that it's agents have a lot of say. They don't want their guy to play too much and get too tired because he might lose his spot in the draft, especially now, which has changed since I was here. Now they're only drafting 20 rounds, it's a big difference.
And it sounds sort of like this place has always been a showcase for guys who want to make it to the next level, many of whom do.
Yes.
And you coached a bunch of them through the years.
Right.
I wonder if it feels even more like a showcase than a league where it's, wins and losses truly matter to the guys in the dugouts. The communities, they still do.
Yeah, very much so. There's a debate going around now between, some of the coaches, the old coaches, me, and guys, scouts, and so forth. Is this a league of development or is this a league of productivity? And I always managed as it's a league of development. We're here to develop these kids. And wins and losses are important, but the important to me was always to get these kids an opportunity to be seen and to get better. And that's changing in some places where it's like, hey, some kids aren't performing, they're not hitting well, and then all of a sudden they're on the transition wire, and they're out, and we're bringing somebody else in. And I don't know if that's fair. I don't know if that's, but again, I've been out of it 5 years. I saw the change coming, and to me that part of it's disappointed me, is that it was more development to see these kids make it versus to win. There's a combination in there someplace, a fine line someplace, because obviously you're not coming up here to try to lose, but you've made a promise to that coach that you're going to play that kid and you're going to help that kid get better, and he's not getting better when he's getting sent home.
On the subject of wins and losses, it has not been the type of summer so far that Anglers fans would like to see. 5 wins, 14 losses, 5 ties. That's also an increased feature here in this league.
Yeah, that was one of the things I didn't get to, but that's fine. We can talk about that.
We can come back to ties.
Yeah, there is something to do that now, because these kids they're pampered. They really are pampered, and the college coaches, pro scouts, agents don't want these guys overthrowing, so they're cutting back on the innings. I think that's part of, if a guy's, what kind of heart does he have? Do we know? We take him out after 50 pitches, he's still throwing really, really well. We'll never know what it's like when the game is on the line and you're starting to get tired. But Major League Baseball is changing that. Starters are going only 6-7 innings now. So.
But with the 5-14-5 record,
yes, I'm sorry,
you're no longer in the dugout. But in a season like this, or a scenario where you're sub 500 and the team might need some sort of a spark, you have tricks up your sleeve. Do different guys respond to different things? How do you try to turn a season around when things aren't going the way
you try to tell them? First of all, you're a Cape Cod leaguer. There's a reason you're here. You're one of the best 300 players in the country, and you start. Just don't worry. You're all right. You're going to be fine. You're not going to, and I would think you're not losing your scholarship. We're going to play you and get you, and you got to just work and get better and better and better. And I always told the kids, hey, we're not going to win every game, but the idea was when they leave here, you hope they're better than when they got here, and that's the key. And I also said, you're going to get better just hanging around this level of player, because every team in the bench across from you is probably a conference all-star. You've got conference all-stars in your dugout and future major leaguers in your dugout. You're going to get better, and that's what you want to do. You want to get better so you can take yourself to the next level.
You're listening to an extended pregame show here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. 20th year anniversary broadcast for myself, Guy Benson, and Dan Duva. We started this broadcasting 2 decades ago here in Chatham, not too far from where we sit, although the old press box was a little lower to the ground, a little farther down the left field line. And now that we are roughly 6 minutes away from the scheduled first pitch, what I'm going to do is probably take a quick break. And then on the other side of that break, we will get you the starting lineup sponsored by the Chatham Squire, the pitching matchup sponsored by the Red Nun, and the first pitch between the Anglers and the Firebirds from Veterans Field in Chatham. It is the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Stay with us. A special night here on the Cape.
Anglers Extra. Chatham on TRC. Cape Cod.
As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing. From the baseball diamond to the many lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So here's to 50 years of winning and 50 more. Celebrating 20 seasons on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham A's Baseball is on the air right now.
Swings and hits one to left center field. Back goes McFadden. He will not get there. It's a home run. A grand slam for Todd Frazier.
Chugging into second base with an RBI double is Evan Longoria. He is 4 for 4.
Hit on the ground, left side. Will it get through? Off Crawford and into center field. Federovic scores and Chatham wins it in 11. The game-winning hit from Seager. It's a 5-4 Chatham winner.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball with Guy Benson and Dan Duva.
Thank you, Bob Shepard. High above Diamond Side at Veterans Field in Chatham. The Anglers and the Firebirds ready to face off. Chatham at 5-14-5. And the Firebirds come in 8 points ahead at 10-13-3. First pitch is still a few minutes away. But before we get to that, it's time for the starting lineups. And they're brought to you by the Chatham Squire. Guy Benson has them for you.
Let's start with the Orleans Firebirds, a visiting team here, obviously, at Veterans Field. As Dan mentioned, they are just a hair under 500. Leading off and playing center field, number 12, Travis Honeyman from Boston College. Batting second, the second baseman, Nate Furman from UNC Charlotte. He wears number 6. Batting third, number 9, Luke Keishel from San Francisco. He's the first baseman. Cleaning up and playing third base is Kevin Sim, hell of a player, from San Diego. He wears number 28. Batting fifth, number 30, the right fielder Isaac Humphrey out of Louisville. Batting sixth is number 3, Austin Knight, also from Charlotte. He is the designated hitter this evening. Batting seventh is Garrett Guillemette. He's the catcher at USC, number 10. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 7, Jacob Stinson from Nevada. And batting ninth, number 36, the shortstop, Nick McLaury from Arizona. And for the hometown Chatham Anglers, who are 5-14-5, their leadoff hitter tonight is number 60, Guy Garibay from Rice, the left fielder. Batting second, the shortstop, number 62, Marcus Brown, Oklahoma State. Batting third, the DH, wearing number 37, Cooper Ingle from Clemson. Batting fourth is number 57, the second baseman, also from Oklahoma State, Rock Riggio. Batting fifth is number 31, Caden Grice from Clemson, the first baseman tonight. In the sixth hole is the right fielder, wearing number 9, Lyle Miller Green of Oklahoma State. A couple of Cowboys on this roster. Batting seventh is Anthony Nunez from Tampa, the third baseman. He wears number 13. Batting eighth is number 2, the center fielder Jake DeLeo from Georgia Tech. And batting ninth, number 35, Jack Rubenstein, also a Yellow Jacket. He is doing the catching this evening. Those are your starting lineups, sponsored by the Chatham Squire. Now Dan is all set with the pitching matchup, brought to you by the Red Nun Bar and Grill.
Okay, Guy, first for the visiting Firebirds, Kelly Nicholson, who once upon a time was the Orleans pitching coach before taking over as manager in 05. He has selected Danye Evans, a right-hander, to start today's contest. Danye has been at Vanderbilt, but is headed to UNC Charlotte, where he will pitch for a former Chatham A and former Orleans pitching coach, Robert Woodard. Danye Evans, a 1-0 record this year, 12 innings, a 0.75 ERA. That is number 44, Danye Evans, the righty, heading to UNC Charlotte. And for the Chatham Anglers, it's Ben Hampton, a left-hander. And Hampton will have his third start today. He's out of West Virginia. No wins, no losses so far, but in 18 1/3 innings, a 1.47 ERA. The guy, when we talked to Tom Holliday before the game today, effusive in his praise.
He's been the real deal so far. Both starters tonight with just glittering numbers as the Anglers take the field to applause from the home crowd. A's wearing their home white jerseys, pinstripes with that beautiful royal blue with a little bit of red trim. Looks pretty similar, Dan, to the old original A's jerseys back when they were the Athletics for many, many years. And then Orleans will be in the black jerseys tonight with red two-tone caps with the black bill, white pants, sharp look. In fact, when we were here on Monday for the 4th, both squads were wearing red, which was a little unusual. Not tonight. Very clear home and away uniforms this evening. Last few opening tosses right now for Ben Hampton. Dan, you read that line from Hampton this season. Just outstanding. I believe Coach Holliday said he's been lights out. And the expectation is he'll go 4, maybe 5 innings, which speaks to something Coach Shifter and I were touching on during the pregame show about how the way these players are managed has really dramatically changed over the years.
No doubt about it. I think when you and I were chatting with Kelly Nicholson, the thought was, hey, if you were to throw Andrew Miller out, you'd expect him to go 7 innings, and Andrew would expect to go 7. And Kelly said he'd punch you in the face if he tried to take him out before 7 innings. And of course,
imagine trying to take Derek Lutz out of a game.
Yeah, right.
Come on.
He might say no, thank you.
No, no, he wouldn't. That's not. No.
Slightly
Shift.
less polite.
Turn around, get back to the dugout, and shut up.
Well, we're just about ready for baseball here on Cape Cod from Veterans Field. Dan Duva is going to settle in behind the play-by-play microphone for these first couple of innings. And Dan, this is fun. Take it away.
Thanks, Guy. Ready to go, everybody. It's just about 7:02 here in Chatham as the Anglers host the Firebirds. Again, it is a left-hander on the mound. Ben Hampton ready to go. And he'll face Travis Honeyman. First pitch, and off-speed drops in, a called strike. We're underway just a shade before 7:02. We'll go 7:01 and 70 degrees.
That's a good old-fashioned 12-6 curveball right there.
Beautiful. And here comes the 0-1 pitch to Honeyman, and that time a fastball just missed the inside corner, and the count is 1-1 strike. Lefty on righty, and the outfield and infield straight away.
Dan mentioned the time and temperature at that first pitch. It was sponsored by the Chatham Athletic Association.
The 1-1 pitch hit on the ground to third. Backhand play at third. Nunez throws across the diamond in time.
Very nice. Very nice play.
Tough pick there.
Yeah, he went the backhand side. Backhand side, maybe could have shuffled over, but he took the backhand and set his feet, threw it over. There's good arm. That was a nice play. Sets the tone right there.
Honeyman, the center fielder, set down 5-3, and up comes Nate Furman, the second baseman.
I tried to recruit Honeyman very hard to come to the University of Maine, but it didn't work. He went to BC. It's a little warmer in Boston.
Just a little. Not much.
Yeah.
Furman, a left-handed batter. Here comes the lefty's first pitch. Starts him with a breaking ball, and the count is 0-1. Reverse approach. We saw that. I remember Chris Cody was one of those backwards pitchers.
Yep.
Start you with a breaking ball and then come back later in the count with a fastball. And this time it's an 0-1.
Chris would break your arm for that fastball right there.
This one's a called strike. It's 0-2.
That's pretty good here.
1 out, nobody on here in the top of the first inning. Crowd continues to fill in at Veterans Field. Massive American flag hangs from a fire ladder across the road and right. Here's a drive towards right. It's Miller Green coming in a few strides. Makes the catch on an easy jog with his left hand outstretched. 2 away here in the top of the first inning. Furman set aside, and that brings up Luke Keishel, the first baseman.
He's got command right now of both of his pitches. He's throwing the curveball for a strike down in the zone, moving the fastball in and out. That's that's good pitching right now. If he has a third pitch, that's going to really, Orleans going to have to battle.
Is a sunlight advantage pitcher at this point in the game?
Oh yeah, especially with a left-handed hitter up.
Keishel out of San Francisco batting at .306, and the first pitch misses for ball 1. Keishel, the first baseman, in the 3-hole, bats from the right side. He's got a powerful lower body. Long blonde hair. Swings through the next pitch. It's 1-1. Chef, what do you look for in a starting pitcher, especially when you don't know some of your starters? Maybe you're seeing them in person for the first few times, wanting to make sure they're in a groove?
Yeah,
There's
definitely.
a 1-1. That
Definitely.
drops in for a strike, 1-2.
And he's around the plate right now. He's smooth. He's not all over the place. He's got some confidence. In each pitch that he throws in the zone, he's going to get more confident.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip, strike 3. Ben Hampton retires the side in order. A ground out, a line out, and a swinging strikeout to get the Firebirds in the top of the first inning. And that was a pretty good start, Guy.
No, you can't argue with a 1-2-3 inning.
No.
And at least early on, it certainly seems, Coach, like Ben Hampton is bringing it tonight.
Yeah, he's right there. That's you sit down with the pitching coach and with Cookie, and they'll discuss. Hey, that was good. That was real good. He might have thrown one ball.
So we'll go to the home half of the first inning. Nothing across for the Firebirds. See if Chatham's offense can get going. 4 runs in a tie against Brewster yesterday. They'll come up to bat with Garibay, Brown, and Engel. That's straight ahead on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's, Chatham on TRC.
Welcome back to Veterans Field. I'm Dan Duva alongside Guy Benson. Coming back to you for a celebration of the 20th season of the Cape Cod Baseball Network and a special guest commentator, John Schiffner, the former A's manager in the booth, the Hall of Fame manager. Starting the home first, it's Guy Garibay. Left-handed hitter takes the first pitch for a called strike. It's 0-1. Garibay, Brown, and Engel, and Riggio to start it here in the bottom of the first in no score. The next pitch, swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Garibay facing Danye Evans, the right-hander who's headed to UNC Charlotte. Schiff, we got your microphone up now, I think.
Oh, okay. He's throwing hard. He's throwing very hard.
Sure is. Evans, tall right-hander, delivers. Misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
96.
Yeah, that's gas.
So it's Garibay, Brown, and Engel here in the bottom of the first inning. The next pitch, off speed, off the end of the bat, grounder to second base. Furman is there, slings it across. Garibay retired, 4-3. And appeared just to be fortunate to get his bat on the ball.
It's I would have wanted to see him come in instead of what he did was he sort of let that hitter speed up his bat. He had thrown 2 really good fastballs right by him. Don't mess around and speed his bat up with a breaking pitch. But he got away with it. The second base made a nice play.
Garibay, out of Rice, was slated to be one of the Anglers' platoon outfielders, but with all of the changes, he's found himself in a regular role in batting leadoff. Here's Marcus Brown. Hits a hard shot foul wide of first base. Got out in front of that one, the left-handed hitter, down the first base line.
That seems like a theme up here. Every summer, but especially recently, the best laid plans fall apart very quickly.
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, just talking to the guys, Kelly, Steve, and all the other managers that I still stay in touch with, it's just insane. It's, guys come and going. It's crazy.
0-1 pitch goes way high, misses the catcher's glove. Knight gave it a cursory reach, but it sailed all the way to the backstop. 1-1.
No, that's, and that's the nature of the game now, the summer league game now. I still obviously am in touch with Matt Fincher, and they're going crazy up there in Vermont.
1-1 pitch. Misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Brown.
Now here's the difference between 2 pitchers. Chatham's pitcher right around the plate. We're always around the plate. Now, right now, this guy's struggling. So your hitting coach is going to sit there and say, all right, pick a fastball out. Right now, just hunt a fastball.
Now the 2-1 to Brown. Holds up on a breaking pitch, goes down and in, and it's now 3 balls and 1 strike, and that was 93.
Yeah, he's throwing hard, but right now he's probably a little nervous. He's kind of a little bit all over the place.
Pitch to Brown, downstairs, ball 4. Marcus Brown, who we have seen at the top of the lineup often for Chatham this summer, he has walked now this season a total of 6 times. And this time it's a 1-out base runner for the Anglers. First base runner for either side. Comes with 1 out in the bottom of the first and no score.
Brown, who now occupies first base, has 4 stolen bases this summer, second on the team. So, Coach, how do you make these decisions?
I'd hold him right here because you got a big gap. The second baseman's up the middle, and you got a left-hander up. You don't want to. You want to base hit through that hole because they got to hold the runner on at first base. Second baseman is in double play position, so you got a big gap. So I wouldn't waste it. If anything, you hit and run, but they don't hit and run that much anymore.
Cooper Engel up at bat, and he takes the first pitch low and away. Now a throw toward first base. Back in with a dive, Marcus Brown, and he is safe. Now Brown, as we mentioned, with those 4 stolen bases, just been caught twice so far this season. Engel deep in the left-handed batter's box. The 1-0 to him. Checked his swing. Did he go? Home plate umpire wants an appeal. No swing, says Pat Burns. Why shocking, Chip, for those who were not initiated?
If he made contact tonight, he would have hit it in the gap.
So it's 2 balls and no strikes to Engel. Right-hander versus left-hander. And the outfield, especially in center, Honeyman is deep. Here's the pitch. And that one just missed. And it's 3-ball count on Chatham's number 3 hitter, Cooper Engel.
That's another thing right now. If he's not throwing around the plate, he's not going to get a favor from the umpire. If it's a close pitch, sometimes the umpire will give it to the pitcher. Right now, he has not indicated that he can throw consecutive strikes.
3-ball pitch, and that grazes the outside corner for a strike. Barely.
A couple of borderline calls, perhaps.
He dug that out of the dirt and they called it a strike. I got to shut up. I'm going to get in trouble.
I don't think they can find you anymore.
No, well, no.
They can try.
They find me in Nantucket Sound.
3-1 pitch. That's low, ball 4.
Or a golf course if you're in any name.
So Chatham has drawn consecutive walks. Guy Garibay started the bottom of the first with a ground out to second off the end of his bat. Now Marcus Brown walks on a 3-1 pitch, and Cooper Engel walks on a 3-1 pitch. First and second, 1 out, bottom of the first inning, no score between the Firebirds and the Anglers.
And Knight trots out to the mound to have a word with his pitcher because Evans is struggling to find the zone. Maybe just trying to settle him down a little bit. You can do this. His numbers are amazing. But if you're the Anglers right now, you probably just
hunt fastballs right now.
Yeah, wait and pick a pitch.
Yep, exactly. Hunt fastballs.
Shortstop creeping in behind the runner at second base. Here comes the pitch from Evans. And that one misses, ball 1. Rock Riggio now the hitter out of Oklahoma State. We saw the orange of Engel, who goes to Clemson. Now we see a little bit of the orange of Riggio from Simi Valley, California, hitting at 113. Another left-handed batter, slightly open stance. The 1-0 pitch, way outside. 2 balls and no strikes. And Knight had to lunge into the right-handed batter's box.
This is starting to become a mechanical issue. He's dropping his elbow down, which is forcing the ball to run to his arm side, and that's not what you want with a lefty up.
And the outfield continues to play pretty deep. You figure with such a hard-throwing pitcher on the mound, as now Riggio squares to bunt, pulls it back. Did it graze him?
I thought I heard something.
So did I.
Yeah.
He pulled it back. Pitch missed inside for a ball. It's 3-0.
And Evans isn't really close.
No, he's. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some shuffling done in the Orleans bullpen quickly.
Riggio with a phantom swing. Now he turns to bunt, pulls it back. It's a wild pitch. It's ball 4. The runner going to third base. Brown holds on there, takes another look towards home, decides not to even give it a try, as Randy Whistler is occupying the third base coaching lines. Make sure that Brown holds on there. And now we have a visit to the mound.
Jimmy Lawler right there, longtime Texas A&M coach, one of the legends in college baseball as far as a pitching coach. He's coached just about every place and absolute legend. Kelly lost his pitching coach very early or very late in the spring. And I don't know. I know Jimmy joined up with him. I don't know the exact how it came about, but he's really lucky to have Jimmy. Jimmy is unbelievable. Back to those old Texas A&M days with Mark Johnson. just a tremendous person. He coached down here at the Cape at Wareham for a while. He'll kill me if I tell you how old he is, but I'm 67 and he's 4 years older than I am, and he's still out there. Just a phenomenal person.
And Chef, we were talking with Kelly earlier. We asked, how many members of your staff do you have? It's you plus how many? He said 7. A total of 8 on the Orleans coaching staff. That seems to be more than there used to be.
Yeah, you know, you look at it 2 ways. Some guys are stumbling on one another.
Here's Caden Grice up with the bases loaded. Takes the first pitch off speed outside. It's an off-speed pitch, by the way, at 87 miles per hour.
Yeah.
We got bases loaded, 1 out, bottom of the first inning, no score. No hits yet, 3 consecutive walks from Evans. The pitch. Hit foul back towards the third base side, toward the home plate cottage, at strike 1. That was over the plate. That's a good cut from Grice.
This is one of the better two-way players in college baseball right now at the plate. If he can't make it as a pro outfielder, first baseman, he can pitch.
So out of Clemson from Greer, South Carolina. Another big left-handed batter in the lineup for Tom Holliday. Out of the windup, Evans delivers. Swing and a miss.
Took a little something off that.
Took the words out of my mouth.
Lefty,
1 and 2.
lefty, and you'd imagine with that swing, perhaps he was eyeing the 314 sign down the right field line, the short porch.
The book on him is he's got some holes in his swing. If he can, he's like he's very similar to Chris Shaw.
You see, 1-2 pitch. That just missed.
Yeah.
Oh, and Evans really wanted it. A little knee bend out on the mound.
Yeah, well, that's it. He didn't. To that umpire right now, he has not earned that call. So that means it was borderline.
Knight framed
Hernandez.
Knight framed it, almost begging for the call. He held it there for a moment, didn't get it.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes with the bases loaded. The pitch. Off-speed swing and a miss. Foul tipped it into the glove. And that's the second out here in the bottom of the first inning. Garibay had grounded out. Caden Grice strikes out on a 2-2 pitch. Bases loaded, 2 down, and up comes a right-handed swinging Lyle Miller Green, the right fielder today. Miller Green had been with the Anglers last year, 6'6", from Oklahoma State. He didn't play much college ball this year, but here in Chatham, he's hitting at 200, but not many plate appearances. 3 hits. First pitch to him. Right at the knees for a strike called, 0-1. Bases loaded with Anglers here in a rather lengthy bottom of the first inning. Donye Evans, former Vanderbilt Commodore heading to UNC Charlotte, trying to get out of this jam. 0-1. Fouled at the plate. Miller Green on top of it.
No favors right here. No favors.
It's behind 0-2.
Seems as though that visit to the mound accomplished something.
Yeah, it's like a timeout, you know, which it is a timeout, but it's like a timeout in basketball. You just kind of calm things down, and sometimes it works.
Evans with the 0-2. Off speed, fouled away.
Oh, no.
Hangs in there at 0-2. That pitch came in at 85 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's hittable. Yeah, this guy's got, you know, very, very good velocity. Don't speed a guy's bat up so it can hurt you.
It's Brown on third, Engel on second, Riggio on first with 2 down, bottom of the first. Evans pitch. Right over the plate it appeared, but just off the inside corner. Oh, that was, first of all, close not to call a strike, but close not to swing.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh, Chef, shut up.
So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lyle Miller Green hangs in deep in the right-handed batter's box. Runners lead from all 3 bases. The pitch, shot back to the mound. Evans takes it on 1 big hop, underhands to first. Evans magically escapes the first inning with no damage. He got the first batter on a ground out, walked 3 in a row, then a strikeout and a comebacker, and that retires the side.
Just how they drew it up.
So it's zeros. No runs, no hits, no errors, but 3 men left aboard. We're scoreless after 1. And in lieu of our regular jingles, here's one with a funny memory on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Guy Benson and Dan Duva.
Very busy day offensively. Oh, now the sprinklers are coming on in the outfield. The sprinklers have come on in right center field, and the ball game will be delayed. And this game, and now they're coming on behind us. This is simply unbelievable. And there are too many sprinklers on and not enough garbage cans. Folks, this is not going to be pretty. Oh, my goodness.
Web radio, coast to coast. Go A's! Chatham on TV.
from the great state of New Jersey out there.
Guy Benson and Dan Duva.
Gonna have to adjust that jingle. We got Guy Benson and Dan Duva, two guys from the great state of New Jersey, but John Shifter's from the great state of New Jersey as well, and he's with us in the booth as we go to the top of the second inning, a no score. First pitch to Kevin Sim, misses outside, a right-handed hitter. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Ben Hampton, the left-hander on the mound, working quickly. The 1-0 pitch, a breaking ball, drops into the upper part of the zone. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
It looks like Orleans is trying to take away the fastball.
1-1, check swing. It just misses inside, 2-1.
I'm sorry. Notice the batter's feet. They're right on top of the plate. They're just trying to hammer his fastball.
2 toes on the chalk. Another breaking ball. This one bounces just in front of the catcher and Rubenstein. It's now 3 balls and 1 strike.
Now, Schiff, in the bottom of the first, the A's load the bases with 1 out. They have nothing to show for it. That's an early game.
Pitch is cracked towards left field. Garibay, a few strides to his left, now walking, reels it in. Fly out for Kevin Sim, 1 away in the bottom of the second inning.
When you're struggling,
yeah,
that can be a demoralizing thing. How do you shake it off?
No question. You just got to come back and do it again, and make him throw you strikes, make him walk people again.
He threw a lot of pitches.
Sure did, yeah, he won't be long.
Isaac Humphrey stands in, takes a breaking ball that bends, and boy, just caught the outside corner. 0-1 on Humphrey, the right fielder who swings from the left side.
25 pitches in that first inning.
The next pitch, fouled straight down at the plate, 0-2. Yeah.
Just don't know, what are the rules now for him? Has Kelly been told he only has 30 pitches, 40 pitches, 50 pitches, or whatever, and he's just, ran out 25? That's a big amount.
Humphrey out of Louisville, 13 hits so far this year. Takes a breaking ball, called strike 3. Second strikeout for Ben Hampton. And he's retired the first 5 he's faced. Quickly 2 down in the visiting second.
And what a beautiful pitch that was. Dropped it right in, and not even a second of protest from Humphrey. He knew he got rung up.
It looks like it's going to be a fastball in, and all of a sudden it takes that turn right over the plate, and you're like, oh, God. Yep.
Austin Knight takes an extra phantom swing outside of the box before he stands in and swings through the first pitch from Hampton, 0-1. He's thinking, I just got to give my pitcher a breather.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Just got into the dugout.
Exactly, yep.
Knight, the designated hitter from UNC Charlotte, one of the 49ers. Takes the next pitch. That one just missed.
He's got to get a bug in the eye right now. Just step. Oh, shit. Oh, God. I got a bug in my eye. I got to step out just to. And their pitcher knows it, too, because he's pitching quickly.
And the next pitch is swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He also has that advantage right now with the mound in shadows, home plate bathed in sunshine.
Yeah.
That won't last long, but it helps the pitcher.
Sure.
1-2 is a breaking ball. Bounces just in front of the plate.
It's not bad for the righty. It is for the lefty.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Austin Knight. Infield is back. Outfield a stride deep as well. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Cut over the top of it. Strike 3. Second strikeout of the inning for Ben Hampton. Third of the game. He's got the first 6 in order as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Boy, I don't have a stopwatch on me right now, but boy, that top of the second had to be 20% the length of the bottom of the first inning. Nothing across for the visiting Firebirds. Bottom of the second when we come back. No score at Veterans Field on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. The people at T-Mobile are committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
I got so down and out in Frisco, tired of the pills and the rain. I picked up headed for the sunshine. I left a good thing behind. Seemed all of our love was in vain. Now my baby's coming in on the Tucson train. I come here looking for a new life, one I wouldn't have to explain. That voice that keeps me awake at night.
If there wasn't already enough Bruce Springsteen on this broadcast, we might go overboard tonight. Welcome back. Veterans Field, Chatham, Mass. Dan Duva, Guy Benson, John Schiffner on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. No score as we go to the home second. And the first pitch of the inning is over the plate. A swing and a miss. Anthony Nunez, second baseman, batting from the left side. He's behind in the count, 0-1.
Change the speeds right there. If you can establish that, it's going to take a lot of pressure off missing the plate sometimes.
Donye Evans, the pitcher, and the right-hander misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, he loaded the bases, 3 consecutive walks. Then a visit from the pitching coach, a strikeout, and a comebacker. This time, out in front of an off-speed pitch that time for Nunez. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cuts and misses with the blue dip bat.
That happens sometimes. You take a little bit off the pitches, you get a lot more movement.
Infield is stride to hit it the other way. 1-2, swing and a miss. That's strike 3.
And then you do that.
Yeah.
2 off-speed pitches in a row, then you come back with your heater. That was he set that hitter up very, very well.
Schiff, how much did you talk to a pitcher between innings?
I didn't that much because I had so many great pitching coaches. You know, if I felt as the manager it was time to say something, I would. But I let my pitching coaches pitch, to worry about the pitchers and the hitters and so forth. And I'd be the wisdom coach. That's it. I was wisdom.
The wisdom coach. Jake DeLeo stands in, takes the first pitch high, ball 1. DeLeo in center field today. DeLeo from Easton, Connecticut, and Georgia Tech, hitting at 288. 1-0. This is just inside. 2 balls and no strikes.
What am I going to tell somebody that Tyler Kincaid couldn't tell them, or Matt Gardner couldn't tell them, or all these John Strauss? I don't know. Go ahead, do it.
2-0 to DeLeo, cuts and misses. Tried to turn and hit it towards the left side, but it was in on the hands. 2 balls, 1 strike. Again, the outfield is deep. This time straight away against Toledo. Swing and a miss. That's strike 2. Oh, all of a sudden, after all of those pitches that missed the strike zone, he's been over the plate. He's only missed the strike zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in the 4 batters since the last walk. Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss, pitch in the
He's
dirt.
done a really nice job of mixing in the cutter now.
Knight throws down to first base to complete the strikeout. So that's the second strikeout of the inning, 3rd of the game for the pitcher, Donye Evans, the right-hander.
And it really seems like he was throwing a lot of fastballs out of the zone, having some trouble, and then he downshifted a little bit, and it has benefited him greatly.
Absolutely.
And the anglers have looked baffled.
In a sense, you mentioned it before, he's kind of pitching backwards.
Garibay takes a cut at the first pitch, and excuse me, not Garibay, that's Rubenstein. I jumped the gun. Can't forget the catcher of all people, Jack Rubenstein, batting in the 9th spot, and he fouls off the first pitch. It's 0-1.
He's setting up the hitters with his breaking pitches and using his fastball as the wipeout pitch.
Lots of room down the right field line for Rubenstein. He looks over the next pitch, and that just misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Now he's in a nice rhythm right now as well, and that's important. He was kind of all over the place. He was going back and forth on the mound. He's got a good rhythm, throwing strikes, confidence building.
Righty-righty matchup, 1-1. Swing and an emergency swing, got a piece of it. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And since we've been mentioning the shadows, the infield now completely in the shadows, a streak of sunlight in right field, but the sun is setting down the left field line.
The lights have been on at Veterans Field since well before the start of the game. 1-2 fouled away over the grandstand towards the Little League field. And the count holds at 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's no score, bottom of the second inning. Bases empty and 2 down. Chatham had 3 runners on base, all via the walk, but nobody could come home and score in that first. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rubenstein, the catcher, waits on Danye Evans, who now steps off.
That's
Time
perfect.
called at the plate. Yep.
That's perfect right there because it confuses the hitter a little bit. The catcher, the pitcher, that might have been intentional. It's kind of like, okay, and now you're going to come back with a fastball. I think he's going to come upstairs with a fastball.
Here it comes. Swing and a miss.
It wasn't upstairs with a fastball. It was
No,
a slider away. You know, what do I know?
But Danye Evans strikes out the side. 3 swinging strikeouts. Nunez, DeLeo, and Rubenstein, the bottom third of the order, retired in order there in the bottom of the second. As we head to the third, and there is no score and no hits for either side, as Ben Hampton will head back to the mound and pitch against the Firebirds in the top of the third inning. More recollecting when we come back, and first a little funny promo from back in the glory days.
Guy Benson.
And I've got some very exciting news for you, Dan, about Mr. Lutz.
Oh, boy.
Guess where he works?
And Dan Duva.
I'm going to guess the Hershey Company.
That is correct. And you're
Where's
just,
the candy?
You're an addict. Dan actually makes an annual pilgrimage.
I want one of those big, massive Hershey bars with my name on it.
With your name on it.
Just eat yourself silly.
Radio, coast to coast. Go A's, Chatham on TRC.
Guy, are we back already? I'm still eating my piece of chocolate here.
Oh, I did that deliberately.
That was no joke. Derek Lutz, closer for the 2005 Chatham A's, our guest in Duva's dugout today. And yeah, he had family members who worked for the Hershey Company. Derek grew up near Hershey, Pennsylvania. We go to the top of the third inning and no score. First pitch misses, ball 1. Garrett Guillemette stands in. The catcher bats from the right side. Next pitch, curveball, fouled at the plate. And it's 1-1.
At this stage, this is the pitching coaches and managers' dream for both staffs right now because both pitchers are pitching fast, throwing strikes, and, you know, just this is great.
Swing and a miss at the 1-1 pitch. Looping cut at another breaking ball at 84. 1 balls and 2 strikes. So Schiff had a piece of chocolate, too. Here's the 1-2. Hit back up the middle. Ranging and a diving attempt by Riggio just beyond his reach. Might have ticked off the end of his glove. Lost the cap and the sunglasses, but gets the throw back in. First hit of the ball game. And it's Garrett Guillemette, who is in the 7-hole, batting for the visiting Firebirds in the top of the third. A single for Guillemette.
Concentration level has just left me. That candy man or candy in the press box, it's just illegal. That's delicious. And it always is delicious. Oh, my God.
Nunez in at third base, guarding against a bunt, but the pitch is grounded towards second. Riggio takes the bounce, flips to second. To first goes Brown's throw. It's a double play. 4-6-3. Hampton says, base runners, I don't want any stinking base runners.
Tricky little hop there.
Yeah.
Right before Riggio snared it.
Yep.
And it was just a tailor-made double play ball with a
turned,
twist. But
he turned it into one.
Yep.
That was a wicked hop. It almost went over his shoulder. He controlled it and made a good feed and a strong throw. So that was a nice double play.
Here's the next batter. It's Nick McLaury, and he takes the first pitch, and it misses, and they appeal at first base, and they say no swing. And remember, he's still collecting his breath from just a moment earlier, trying to make a diving play up the middle.
Yeah.
The 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs, top of the third inning. No score between the Firebirds and the Anglers here at Veterans Field, and the crowd continues to grow. Fastball, broken bat, flared towards third. There and waiting, Nunez snares it for the out. And just like that, just when the Firebirds thought they might get something going, it ends up being perhaps the quickest half inning of them all. And we are complete with 2.5. Still no score. Finally a hit for Orleans.
but still zeros. We go to the home half of the third here at Veterans Field in Chatham on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Home half of the third at Veterans Field in Chatham. No score for the Firebirds and the Anglers. With Guy Benson and John Schiffner, I'm Dan Duva. No scoring here. No hits for the Anglers so far. One for the Firebirds. And to the top of the order, Guy Garibay to start this home third. Takes the first pitch, and that just misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes, Guy Garibay. Garibay had grounded out to second base in the first. 1-0. Catches the inside corner, a strike called from Danye Evans. Evans got into some trouble in the first after that ground out from Garibay, walked 3 men in a row, then escaped with a strikeout and a comeback. 1-1. Fastball misses just inside. 2 balls, 1 strike to the lefty swinging Garibay from Rice.
Should slow down just a little bit. I think he took a little breath right here. He missed on a couple.
Now the 2-1. Hit hard, foul. Turned on it and right between first base and the first base coach. New coaches arrived in recent days. Longtime major leaguer Rusty Greer joining the Anglers staff in recent days.
That can't hurt. That guy could hit.
Here comes the 2-2. This time a slow roller just beyond the mound at second base. Furman in, throws. He got him. Danye Evans, the pitcher, ranged over it, bounced underneath him. He's a tall guy, but the second baseman, Furman, speedy to get in there and get the play to first in time to retire the leadoff man, Guy Garibay. One away here in the third.
Once it got past Evans, that was a chance for a base hit. And Garibay knew it. He was busting, but a very nice, flawless play by Furman just to get the left fielder at first base by half a step.
Hard 90. You like that. Hard 90.
Now it's Marcus Brown, a left-handed hitter.
Ouch.
That one comes inside. Did that hit? It hit something. Did it hit the catcher?
Well, it wasn't him. I thought it hit him.
I did too.
But he did not react that way at all. Clearly, it did not hit him.
Maybe it's a new rule. I'll stay here.
So it's 1-0. The righty delivers, and it's outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
The hit batsman is declined.
Yeah, no, thank you. I want to hit. No, thank you.
Replay second down.
Call Bob Ranford or whatever his name is.
Oh, yeah, Rob Manfred.
Yeah.
Well, now you don't have to throw pitches for an intentional walk. 2-0. Cracked lookout. Hits the post down the right field line at the fencing beyond the first base dugout. And count is 2-1.
Don't get me going on that stuff.
Yeah. Well, we don't have enough time on the broadcast, as it turns out. So.
No, we should have a blog, just the 3 of us. Just
podcast, maybe?
Podcast, yeah, that's what I meant.
All right.
Sorry,
yeah,
I'm old.
We'll see how many people tune in for that.
Yeah.
Downloads through the roof. Waiting on the 2-1 from Evans. Cut on and missed a breaking ball. And it's 2-2 on Marcus Brown.
We could call it Schiff's Creek.
Ooh, I like that.
That's some marketing right there.
Yeah, that's good.
I have a good idea once a decade.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the third and no score here at Veterans Field. The pitch, swing and a miss, pitch in the dirt. The catcher, Knight, got it off the chest protector, gets the ball, throws it to first, and he got him for the out.
Really nice play by the catcher. Just a nice job. Followed it up, made a strong throw. That's a really good job. It's a tough pitch. That was like a 58-footer.
And he swung it. I mean, Brown walked in his first at-bat and just looked lost on that swing.
Yeah. And that means the pitcher's probably hiding it pretty well. He's just, if he can throw strikes with it, he's going to be really good. And if he can get pitches.
First pitch is ball 1 to the third hole hitter. That's Cooper Engel, who walked last time up. Left-handed batter out of Clemson. The pitch low, 2 balls and no strikes.
This is a very tough time of the night right now because it's the sun's setting and it's tough to see, especially for the outfielders. It's you usually have to yell out to the infielder, point them out.
The 2-0 pitch. Fastball there for a strike just above the knees, 2-1.
We saw last night in Boston.
Yeah.
Right fielder couldn't see the ball on just a fly ball.
Right.
Ended up being a triple.
Yep.
2 runs coming home.
Yep, I saw that.
Evans 2-1.
I think it's just
that just missed
Royal's
outside.
not an outfielder. You know, he's not an outfielder, and you don't get enough time. You know, you don't get enough time to work on it.
That's 3 balls and 1 strike on Cooper Engel, the DH. Evans pitch. Lifted towards left, falling fast. Stinson toward the line. He gets there, makes the play to retire the side. Now, after Chatham loaded the bases, 8 men retired in a row. Strikeout, comebacker, strikeout, 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 ground out, strikeout, fly out. All for Danye Evans, who recovers beautifully after those first inning struggles. 3 innings in the books, and still no score, just 1 hit for Orleans. We'll go to the 4th inning and Guy Benson's play-by-play. Chatham and Orleans here on the 9th of July on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC.
Back at Veterans Field, no scores. We head to the 4th inning, and stepping in behind the play-by-play microphone, my good friend and broadcast partner, Guy Benson.
Well, thank you, Dan. Hi, everyone. It's been a while. Let's see how this goes.
Relax.
To the 4th inning, scoreless, only 1 hit in the game. It's the top of the order for Orleans, as Hampton has faced the minimum so far, thanks to a double play ball last inning. And the pitch is hit on the ground, fair down the left field line. Could be extra bases for Honeyman, who rounds first.
Good ball.
He chugs into second base. He was going to go for 3, but as you heard from Coach Schiffner, it got out of play. It's a ground rule double to lead off this 4th inning. A runner in scoring position here for Orleans.
The way the game has been going, I think it's really important that Orleans gets this guy to third. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there. I thought he was at third base. Wait a minute. Get him to third base. You know, left-handed hitter up. You really want him to pull the ball right now or bunt. And I think it's too early to possibly bunt, but you really need to concentrate on getting a ground ball to the second base and the first base and get that guy to third base in less than 2 hours.
So that was a hot shot by Honeyman. Here's Furman, a lefty against the lefty Hampton, who checks back to second and now deals. He bunts at it. It's a strike. 0-1.
He was trying to do a little drag bunt right there because you've got a left-handed pitcher in the mound who's falling towards third base, and he was trying to bring that past the pitcher's mound, which would be perfect.
0-1 the count. Honeyman takes his lead as Hampton deals. Maybe a little high, perhaps outside. 1-1. Infield back up the middle, roughly even with the bags at the corners. As the 1-1 pitch is hit fair down the right field line, just over the bag. Rounding third and scoring easily is Honeyman, and sliding into second base with a ribby double, Nate Furman. 1-0 Orleans in the 4th.
Execution baseball right there. Pulled the ball to the right side, and they got lucky. The first baseman was a little bit up, and he had a difficult time getting down to get the bag and put it right over the bag.
So back-to-back doubles right down each line. Yeah. First on the left side, then on the second, on the first base side, rather. And now Furman leads off second base. The hitter is Luke Keischel.
We could see a push bunt here. Try to push a bunt past the pitcher, same situation.
The first baseman, open stance. Righty hitter swings and misses. Strike one. Twilight here in Chatham, where the visitors have struck first. 1 run on 3 hits. No one out here in the top of the 4th. Hampton looking back at second base. Pitch bounces. And the count levels at 1-1.
Well, they just look like they're going to just try to move them in, get a base hit, which it's early in the game, but just the league is not scoring runs at a very abundant rate. So I think sometimes you try to take advantage if you can, but again, you want these kids to, get to showcase themselves a little bit. Situation, man in scoring position, let them hit the ball.
Keischel takes a strike on the outer edge, 1-2.
We always heard, Chip, that this is a pitcher's league, that you were going to lose 100, 150 points off your college average. Is this different than it had been?
I don't think so. It's just, it's early in the game. It's just we're getting to that midway through the season.
1-2 pitches cut on and missed for strike 3.
Wins are getting more and more important and scratching for runs because it's, if you look at the stats, there's not a lot of runs. I think the other night there was like one game was 5-4 or 4-4. The other games were 1-0, 1-1. There's not a lot of runs being scored. So I think if you want to take advantage.
So Keischel swings through that one. He's the first out of the inning. Here is Kevin Sim from San Diego, another righty hitter. Wiggles his waist with a runner on second base, 1 out, 1 in, top of the 4th. Pitch. A hair inside, 1-0.
They're trying to take away the plate right now, and they're trying to look for the curveball out in front because they're standing on top of the plate, especially the right-handed hitters. And he's got a real nice gap going through second base.
Infielders back as the 1-0 misses as well. 2-0. Isaac Humphrey is the man on deck. Ben Hampton was lights out per his billing for the first 3 innings. Running into some trouble here in his second time through the order. Orleans ahead 1-0 as the pitch is fouled straight back to the screen. 2-1.
He just missed that. He had hands out in front. He wanted to drive that ball to the other side. He pulled his hands in and tried to drive it that way. As the pitch was a little bit in for him. If that was a little bit more over the plate, he would have got it.
The lefty, Hampton, comes set. And from the stretch, he deals. Way outside, upstairs as well, 3-1. So some control issues early in the game from Evans. And Hampton laboring a little bit here.
Yeah. Again, you got a guy on base. You want to make sure you got less than 2 outs. You've got gaps all over the field. You're going to try to be a little fine.
3-1 the count. And the pitch, fastball outside. That is ball 4. So Sim now aboard. Furman still at second base. Just 1 out. Isaac Humphrey from Louisville. He's the right fielder. A lefty swinger.
And guy, just to point out, there is no one yet up in the Chatham bullpen, but when the time arises, we're expecting Tommy Molsky, the right-hander from Penn State, to be first out of the pen for Chatham.
There is action down in the Orleans pen. First and second, 1 out for the Firebirds. And there's a nice pitch. Outer edge, 0-1.
That walk that was given up was not the worst thing in the world. It sets up a double play instead of having the open base. So it's not the worst thing that he walked him.
Anglers turned 1 earlier. They'd love to do it again here. The 0-1 from Hampton is hit in the air to very shallow center. Coming in is DeLeo. He can't make the play, but on one hop he barehands and fires in. The bases are now loaded. A soft flare single.
Tim McCarver once said that, no, it was Joe Garagiola once said, those are the line drives when they land, they don't even bend the blade of grass. It's just that was just, you make a great pitch, jam the guy, and he still gets it out to the outfield.
You can see DeLeo hesitate off the
look,
bat.
well, there is that light issue. You know, you don't get a good view because you've got this funny light now. You got darkness, sunlight behind the trees.
Bases are loaded for Austin Knight, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And the pitch is chopped right back to the mound. He will come home for one. Relay to first is in time. 1, 2, 3. The double play ends the inning. However, Orleans does get on the scoreboard first. 1 run on 3 hits. No errors. And with a double play, they had the bases loaded, but a few men left on base. After 3.5 innings, it's Orleans 1, Chatham nothing. They have yet to register a hit. We'll see if that can change in the home half of the 4th. Stay with us here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network on Cape Cod.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod. Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I'll stand my ground. Won't be turned around. And I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground.
Home half of the 4th here at Veterans Field. 20 years here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Guy Benson and Dan Duva, the OGs, as they call us. We're back.
So, Chef, I want to know, what did you think when you heard that the Chatham A's were going to have play-by-play broadcasters?
I thought it was great.
You sure?
I thought it was outstanding.
Then you met us.
Then things went downhill. No, I was going to say that what you guys created 20 years ago has just evolved into an amazing media explosion here on the Cape with what all the teams do as far as that goes. And was it for you guys, it wouldn't be here.
Oh, thank you, Chef. Middle of the order for Chatham, 4, 5, and 6. This is Riggio taking outside 1-0. Chatham trailing 1-0. Still looking for their first base knock of the game. And the 1-0 pitch. Coming inside, missing barely, 2-0.
Strikes on the size of a thimble.
Riggio, he almost flinched waiting for that one to be called a strike, and it wasn't. 2-0. As Evans deals a big swing and a miss. 2-1, 88 miles an hour. Cole Reynolds is the man up in the Orleans bullpen down the right field line. A lefty. But the righty Evans on the bump now, and that pitch is swung on and skied to center. Honeyman is right there, barely has to move as he puts it away for the first out of the inning.
The first baseman from Clemson.
I should add that while we might have had the germ for the idea, what we kind of did
the
was
right word to use?
I don't know. Maybe I mean it caught on.
All right.
It's but
I think after the last 2 years, maybe let's avoid all references.
Sure.
All right. Okay.
Well, keep going, Dan.
Here's Grice, and he takes a ball low and away.
How about the seed? The seed.
Like that. Like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
All right. But, the Chatham Athletic Association was so supportive of the idea.
1-0. Waved at and missed, 1-1.
And we, of course, sit here today, and I've got some coins that honor Paul Gallup, a longtime volunteer, president of the Chatham Athletic Association, host dad, and, of course, longtime commissioner of the league as well.
Evans winds and deals outside, a little bit low as well. 2-1 to Grice.
And Paul sadly passed away last year, far too young. And, of course, we think about Paul and his wife Lori today, and Pete and Kate, their kids, and the grandkids as well.
2-1, missed again, almost the same spot, 3-1.
And I remember the conversations we had with Paul Gallup, along with Peter Troy and Charlie Toms, and so many people who were
The Mount Rushmore of Chatham,
exactly.
right there.
That's
Chatham
it.
baseball.
That's it. And that was our impression. Where we would love to work with these folks.
Hitters count. The pitch is a fastball. Got the inside corner. Boy, Grice had dropped his bat. and was about 10 feet on his way to first base. He thought that was ball 4. Home plate umpire J.C. Hernandez begged to differ.
Yeah, umpires don't like that. They don't want you to run out of there.
If this one's close, he better swing.
Yeah, they want you. They want to call the pitch. They don't want you to call the pitch. So
full count now. 3-2, bases empty. With one down in the pitch, he got him swinging. So the last laugh in that at bat goes to Donye Evans, and there are 2 down.
Now, just from Paul Gallup to Peter Troy and Paul's wife Lori and Peter's wife Diane, and just a number of people who were supportive of our idea. Paul liked to tell the story on the broadcast that when we came to the A's with the plan, we gave them 2 plans. There was the bare bones, and then there was the Cadillac, the Xanadu plan.
Here's Miller Green, a righty who takes just off the plate, I guess
slider.
inside. 1-0, righty against righty here. Bases are empty. Bottom of the 4th, 1-0 Orleans. And the 1-0 on its way. Low. 2-0.
And the Chatham Athletic Association decided to go for it. And we are using some of the equipment from 20 years ago.
2-0 offering is fouled at the plate. 2 balls and a strike.
Because we bought good, reliable equipment. Now, of course, over the years, we've had several things replaced.
I think some of it might still be here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this headphone amp, there's a headset over there. We'll be using it a little bit. But plus the jingles.
Pitch outside. 3-1. Evans to Miller Green. So a hitter's count.
Yep. He's struggling again. Hunt the fastball.
The right fielder from Oklahoma State trying to make something happen here as Evans deals. Outside, not by much. That's ball 4. And Chatham has its first base runner since the first inning as Miller Green trots down to first base. Anthony Nunez, the third baseman, now strides to home plate.
Tom Holliday has more patience than I would. You would hear me from the dugout after a few of these. So good for Tom. Attaboy. Keep your head on and lead the team. I'd be a little upset right now.
Righty against lefty as the pitch is fouled at the plate. Got a piece of it, 0-1. Now, when you say you'd be barking at this point, keep it PG, but what'd you be saying?
Oh, hey, let's go. Where are they? Let's go.
Like swing the bat.
No, I'm talking about the
umpire.
Yeah, the umpires. This strike zone is tough.
Well, in this case, it's benefiting Chatham, of course.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I was confused.
Yeah.
0-1 the count. Runner takes his lead off of first, and he'll get a look over there as Evans steps off. The sun has almost completely set behind those trees in left as the pitch is low, 1-1.
We have the great pleasure of going back through the audio archives to talk about what we hear from the dugout. We mic'd up Matt Fincher, his last home game as a Chatham coach in 2006. What an audio tape that is.
1-1 is a strike inside corner. 1-2.
Finch is the best. I'm sorry. Finch is the best. Legendary in his own right.
Miller Green off of first, and the 1-2. Tapped weakly back to the mound, backhanded there by Evans. Lollipop throw over to first base to end the inning. That had some English on it.
Yeah.
Played nicely by Evans off the bat of Nunez. And the inning is over. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. We go now to the 5th inning with Orleans here on the road leading the Chatham Anglers 1-0. As I said, inning number 5 forthcoming. Stay with us. It's the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod. You get a shiver in the dark, it's raining in the park, but meantime, sound of the river, you stop and you hold everything. A band is blowing Dixie, double fall time. competition in other places.
Top of the fifth, bottom of the order for the Orleans Firebirds as they will face Ben Hampton, who has been extremely economical. 39 pitches through 4.
Wow.
Garrett Gilmet, the catcher, will lead off. Righty against righty. Chatham trailing 1-0. That one is lined right back to Hampton. He grabbed it on a line, and there's one down.
See, I think at some point you've got to start taking some strikes because it's just you want to try to wear him down, and you got to start taking some strikes just to make him pitch a little bit. Both sides,
1 out.
Yeah, both sides. Both sides are kind of, they're swinging. They're not swinging a super bad pitches. It's just sometimes you want to make that pitcher work a little bit.
Here's Jacob Stinson out of Nevada, the left fielder, a lefty, and he watches a pitch go by. It's a called strike, 0-1. Base is empty, 1 down. Top 5, Chatham trailing here at home, 1-0. Pitch, waved at and missed. Nice pitch, 0-2. Dan, do we have another VIP? This will become a 4-man booth here.
That's right. I don't know that we've ever done a 4-man booth.
Groundbreaking. The 0-2, he got him. Swing and a miss, fooled him badly as they'll throw it around the horn. Retired was Stinson. That was a very quick at bat. Yep. He goes down cutting, and there are 2 away.
The shortstop.
And here's Nick McCleary from Arizona, the shortstop.
We're always innovating here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Always something new.
Hello, Peter Troy.
Hello, Guy Benson. And Dan Duva.
Hampton deals a fastball strike. 0-1. You know what? I was listening to the broadcast from our last reunion show, which was 5 summers ago, and Mr. Troy came to join us in the booth, former Chatham A's president, as the 0-1 is got on and missed, 0-2, and it went exactly like this. We barely got to talk to you because it was the fastest inning I'd ever heard, and this one might beat it. 0-2, 2 outs, no one on, top of the 5th, as Hampton bounced one. A reprieve.
Guy, I know you said you hadn't done baseball in a while. It sounds like you just did it last week.
That is very kind. It's been 5 years.
I think you missed your calling.
Riding a bike to some extent.
Exactly.
Here's the 1-2. He got him. Swing and a miss. And that retires the side. 2 strikeouts in the inning. 1-2-3 go the Firebirds as they lead 1-0 heading to the bottom of the 5th. And rather than taking our commercial break halfway through this broadcast, we're going to keep it right here. I like to say a commercial break. It sounds more legit,
okay,
as opposed to just musical break.
Sure, yeah. No, we have John Schiffner. We've got Peter Troy. We have another gentleman who's here, but we don't have a 5th headset for Mr. John Newton. John Newton, the proprietor of Short and Sweet Ice Cream.
Hand mic.
Hold on, we got it here.
There you go.
See that?
What are you guys? You guys have got these announcers, and I'm the one that finds the hand mic. What the hell?
Well, let's see if we can get this
If we're going to have another guest, they could go stand by one of the crowd mics and talk directly into it.
Say hi, John Newton. How are you, Mr. Newton?
I'm well. How are you?
Great. Did you know that Short and Sweet Ice Cream this year has an additional element in our sponsorship, and that is anytime there's a triple, it's brought to you by Short and Sweet Ice Cream.
That's correct, yes. Yeah. They've had 2 so far. Yeah.
A couple, yeah. We saw one just the other day in the big win Chatham had a few days ago. How are you, and how's Jan?
I'm well. She's down there watching the game. First time in probably 30 years we've been able to come to a game together.
Wow. And for the folks listening who might not know, why is that the case?
Been scooping ice cream.
Yeah. Over for 30 years,
yeah.
And now Short and Sweet is still in the family,
it
but
is,
you've handed it off.
Our daughter and son-in-law have stepped into the traces and then picked up the scoop.
I'll tell you, I brought a former Chatham A from 2007 and his wife and his 5-year-old daughter, and it was just spectacular to go in the other day.
I missed him.
Seeing you.
Yeah. Who was
Kevin McAvoy, 2007
okay.
Chatham A's, who totally surprised us. He just showed up the other day. It's like once you get sand on your shoes, you come back. Had no idea he was coming. We saw Derek Lutz was here the other day. Just wonderful to see people just coming by the booth.
We got a quick call to the bullpen to tell you about, sponsored by the Chatham Bars Inn. Cole Reynolds, number 37, a lefty, into the game out of Elon. He's appeared in 5 games this summer. He's allowed 6 runs on 7 hits. All of those runs were earned. 7 walks, 8 strikeouts, an ERA of 5.40. Bottom of the 5th inning as Chatham tries to get on the board. They have been skunked so far. Jake DeLeo is the hitter, the center fielder. The lefty against the righty deals. Fastball strike. 0-1. So, aside from a little bit of wildness from Donye Evans, you can't argue with that line score as the pitch is slowly grounded wide of third. It's a foul ball just by a few inches. And it's 0-2. He allows no runs on no hits.
Yeah, he threw well. It may be effectively wild, and then all of a sudden in the middle of his stint, he kind of found some things and it kind of took a little bit off his fastball. His slider was starting to come around, so he did a really, really nice job. No hits, and well.
And it's not really like the Anglers have been robbed.
No.
Or hit the ball particularly well on any of the outs that they've made.
No. He kind of dominated.
Aside from those 3 passes.
Yeah. So, one point on John Newton. No one treats our players better over the years than John. He was phenomenal to our kids. He just loved when they came in, and he made sure that they talked to the other little kids getting ice cream.
0-2 from Reynolds is chopped foul.
I'm a coffee Oreo fan, Chef. How about
I like that. I'm a peppermint stick guy.
Mean Black Bear introduced to me by Guy Benson.
Ah, with the raspberry, right?
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Oh, I like the Mean Black Bear.
I'm
sticking with the coffee Oreo, though.
I like pistachio.
Oh, yeah, very good.
Yep.
You know what? There's not too many ice creams I'm going to turn down.
0-2.
As you can tell by my waist.
He is fouled off.
They have a Miller High Life ice cream. I'd try it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Oh, there have been some
I might just stick with the real thing.
Yeah.
Always drink responsibly.
Yeah, of course.
21 plus only. No balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the 5th, 1-0 visitors. And the pitch. He got him. Tipped it into the catcher's mitt. That is strike 3. DeLeo down on strikes. 1 away for Jack Rubenstein, also from Georgia Tech. He is the catcher.
That was a legitimate old-fashioned slider right there. Back foot slider. That was a nice pitch. Really had some bite to it at the end.
The guy said, we've listened to some of our older broadcasts, the reunion broadcasts, forget about the old ones, and I've got a question.
First pitch is a little bit low, 1-0 to Rubenstein.
And we've got John Schiffner, the former manager of the A's, Peter Troy, former president, former everything in the Chatham Athletic Association. We have, through the years, not asked a very important question of you both.
1-0, low, 2-0.
I would like to know how your brides, Martha and Diane, have impacted your roles with the Chatham A's through the years.
Some brownie points coming here.
Brownies sound good.
But first, a 2-0. Missed again. I think it hit him. That one came in, and it did. It got him right on that front leg. So another base runner for Chatham as the number 9 hitter heads over to first base and back to the top of the order, and the immaculately named Guy Garibay from Rice, the left fielder. He is 0 for 2. He is grounded to second base both times, and Orleans would love to see that again and try to turn 2. 1 on, 1 out, 1-0 Orleans. Bottom of the 5th. Here is Reynolds dealing a fast strike, outer edge. 90 miles an hour, 0-1.
So to your question, Dan, when I started, we basically started as house parents. So right from the get-go, my wife Diane was involved with the players. So
0-1, same spot, strike 2.
She knew what it was all about right from the beginning. And likewise for John, I know Martha did a lot of cooking for a lot of guys.
No, she embraced it. We housed a lot of coaches.
That one gets away on the 0-2, a wild pitch. Down to second base scoots Rubenstein, a runner in scoring position for Chatham for the first time since the first inning. The count is now 1-2 on Garibay.
No, so you housed them. Housed the coaches.
Yeah, we did.
And occasionally hosed them down.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, sometimes.
Right.
And I can attest, you guys are terrific hosts. You love to entertain.
Yeah. The Goombay Smash, the Coolicoos.
Here we go.
The Bluefish Pate. Some of my personal favorites.
A keg from time to time. A kegerator.
Yeah. Yeah, that made us very popular.
And why is it, Schiff, that your home has a particular baseball-related nickname?
We call it the third base. Stop in on your way home.
Which we have a few times.
Meanwhile, there's a slight delay. It looks like Knight, the catcher for Orleans, might be shaken up a little bit. Austin Knight. Check that.
Took one off the hand.
Yeah, it looked like maybe it was an equipment issue at first, but no. He's all right. Gives a fist bump now.
How about that? Fist bump to the hand that he hurt. He hurt his right hand, and he gave a fist bump to the batter. Like, hey, the batter gave it to him going, hey, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean to knock that on your hand. But he just gave him the wrong hand.
That was Gilmet, by the way, not Knight. But he's okay, it looks like. Now he walks a few feet in front of home plate. Offers a word of encouragement to his pitcher, Cole Reynolds. 1-2 the count with one down. Runner at second base in the person of Jack Rubenstein. And the pitch. Ooh, that one missed badly. 2-2. A throw down by Gilmet to second base was well late, trying to catch Rubenstein napping. Nothing doing. Really nice stop.
It was.
And it didn't make it any easier. No. Reynolds on his catcher after that brief break. 2-2. Pitch from the stretch. Line foul left side. Well out of play. Right near Dan's car.
Thankfully, it hit a tree.
Yeah. Dan's car would fall apart if it got hit a tree.
Slowed it down at least. So he spoiled it there. 2-2.
That car is older than the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
There you go.
Which is to say old.
Yeah.
Very old. It has historic New Jersey plates now.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Reynolds deals strike 3 right there. And Garibay goes down looking. Garibay becomes the second strikeout victim of the inning. This is a fastball right down Broadway.
Had a little cut to it.
And here's Marcus Brown, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. Again, the Anglers still looking for their first base hit. They were no hit by these Orleans Firebirds not long ago this season. Lefty against lefty as Brown stands in. And he hits one in the air to left field. Backing up is Stinson, still back, and he makes the play. Misjudged it at first, but recovered. The ball wasn't hit hard enough.
Now you've got the lighting issue again, because now the lights are taking over, the sunlight's gone, and it's really difficult sometimes to see a ball off the bat.
No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. After 5, it's 1-0 Orleans here at Veterans Field on the Cape Cod Baseball Network, and we will again keep it right here.
And again, our guest, John Schiffner, former Chatham manager, Peter Troy, former Chatham Athletic Association president.
Dan, you were asking about our wives' involvement, and I do want to mention to your listeners that back in the mid-1990s, Chatham really didn't do much for merchandise for our fans or for the treasury of the organization. So Nick the Barber, Willett Nicholas, a very well-known character in Chatham, he and his wife started making T-shirts with the Chatham Anglers logos. And then in the beginning of a season, he actually died of a heart attack, which was tragic for all of us. And that's when the Gallup family picked up the merchandise, doing the merchandise, and they were only just back into the league that same year. And then when Paul became the commissioner, that's when Diane, my wife, took over the merchandise and really grew it quite a bit to where it became a significant amount of our annual income.
Oh, yeah, it made it rain.
Yeah,
it did.
I mean, almost overnight, just a huge ramp up.
Oh, I mean, just look at some of the items that we are wearing here on the broadcast right now. I look into the back of the booth here, some great items that we've had from over the years. And now, of course, Big Ed Baird is very much beloved for his baseball, but also for his merchandising prowess.
Sixth inning, and another inning of work for Ben Hampton, who's pitched great. He just happens to be on the wrong end of a 1-0 score. Top of the sixth and top of the order for the Firebirds.
And we all know, not just in Chatham or on the Cape, you go almost anywhere in America, and you might see someone with a Chatham Anglers shirt or jacket or cap.
Or if you're wearing it, you get called out by someone.
That's
hey,
right. Yeah, yeah.
Here's the pitch. Outside by a hair, Travis Honeyman, Boston College, the center fielder, compared before the broadcast to Pete Rose by his manager. So he just plays the game hard.
He does. He does. That's why we wanted him so bad at Maine.
The 1-0 inside, maybe a little bit upstairs, 2-0. Honeyman is 1 for 2, doubled and scored the only run of the game back in the fourth, as the lefty rocks and deals fouled off. 2-1.
Yeah, good hack at that. That's what you do in a 2-0 pitch. You see something around the plate, hack.
Everyone playing pretty straight away. Miller Green a little shallow and right. As the 2-1 pitch travels, cut on and missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count is level.
Generally, with a righty up, you want to shorten your right-handed hitter, your right fielder up, because you're assuming he's going to pull the ball to center left field, and if he's going to get beat by a pitch, it'll be to the right field side. So you don't want him too deep.
2-2 offering now on its way. Hit on the ground. Look out. Foul. Scattering there was the third base coach, just leaning out of the way of that one, and a few others down the line. Count holds 2-2. This game has been flying. Not just my imagination, is it?
No.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Hampton deals. Popped up, very shallow center.
Good break on it.
Coming into Leo, and he'll make the play. 2 down.
The second baseman, number 6, Nate.
We got John Shifter, got Peter Troy here in the booth. I'm Dan Duva with Guy Benson. Joe Puccio, Ian Unsworth have the evening off guy.
And they'll be back here, never fear, tomorrow on the broadcast.
That's
What'd you do with those poor guys?
Yeah, I don't know if they might have found the red nun, or I don't know, maybe a spot on the hill.
Correction, that was the first out of the inning. I said 2 away. They were lightning quick on the scoreboard to get that first out, fake me out. So with 1 down, here's Nate Furman, UNC Charlotte, lefty, against the lefty Hampton. And the pitch. High, 1-0.
And of course, Joe and Ian are play-by-play broadcasters, but there are 8, count them, 8 members of the Anglers media team now. Guy, can you imagine what we would have done with 8 people?
1-0, golf down the left field line and foul. Lands in the bullpen area for Chatham, 1-1.
Well, that's what I was saying. All these teams have those numbers or somewhere near those numbers. Oh, Ed Baird. Ed Baird just punched me.
Big Ed is here.
Hell.
1-1. It's a foul ball.
Anyway, I'm trying to really be nice to Guy and Dan here. And the entire league has expanded because of what you guys first started. And Chatham, give Chatham credit, Peter, Paul, Charlie, what they created and how it's just moved like wildfire now.
That was the same neck of the woods, by the way, on that pop foul down the left field line. So it's 1-2 on Furman. Pitch coming outside, 2-2.
Peter Troy, did you approve all of these expansions of the media team?
No, but I certainly support it. You guys, the team has done a great job.
That pitch is lined foul down the right field line. Getting a glove on it there was the first baseman, Grice, but he couldn't quite snare it. So the count holds at 2-2.
Probably knuckled a little bit. I think that's what happened. It knuckled just a little bit. Again, this is the tough light on a lighted field. When the sunlight still is out there and the lights haven't fully taken over, your vision is definitely off a little bit.
He'd probably like a take 2 there because it was a catchable ball, not an easy play by any stretch.
Yep.
So nice at bat here for Furman, making Hampton work. We haven't seen a lot of that so far. This one's chopped right back to the first baseman, Grice. He redeems himself a little bit here, taking it to the bag. The 3 unassisted putout, and now there are 2 away.
Yeah. Grice just reminds you so much of Chris Shaw. Just so much. Big, broad shoulders, left-handed, big left-handed swing. he's going to be a pretty good ball player.
Just a glorious sunset in left field.
Oh, it's getting
there. It's getting there. Yeah.
Splash of color out there.
Well, Chris Shaw, one of the former Chatham players among many, many who have moved from Veterans Field on to the professional ranks.
There's Keishel, who swings and misses 0-1.
And, you know, Peter Troy, you've had a number of them stay in your home. We've got a number of parents of Chatham and perhaps Orleans players listening to us right now.
The 0-1 right there for strike 2.
What would you say to those folks about being a Chatham host parent and the relationship that's created from that?
Oh, we just had such great experiences with the young men who we housed, and
0-2 is low. 1-2 now. Hit the dirt there.
Some of them were more comical than others, of course.
Yeah. Speaking of one, I got a call from Todd Singlin the other day.
Well, he's number one and always will be.
Base is empty, 2 out, and the 1-2 pitch.
Ow.
Oh, just got a piece of it. Just got a piece of it, and we'll do it again. 1-0 the score. Top of the 6th inning. Chatham trailing here at home. Ben Hampton still on the mound for Chatham in his 6th inning of work.
And you still keep in touch with a number of them, do you know?
Oh, yes, yes.
The 1-2. Outside. They wanted that call. Rubenstein waited, didn't get it. 2-2.
No, we're in touch with the Mitchell family. Mike Mitchell had a career that
swing and a miss.
Brought him up to the majors.
3. He'll have to throw down to first base to complete the putout. And just another fantastic, easy inning for Ben Hampton.
I just got the call from the bullpen. But I do want to congratulate both of you on your 20th anniversary. Great article in this week's paper. Really covered, Guy, what you've done in your professional career. And I especially like what Dan has continued to do with mentoring the next generations of talent. And that's great. And I'm sure you do the same thing with people in your business too, Guy.
Yeah, he stuck with sports. I went the news and politics direction, but it's fun to be back here. And Peter Troy, thank you for the kind words, and thank you for greenlighting all of this, not just for us, but for the many broadcasters here in Chatham and around the league who have now been a part of this for years. And it's a great tradition that continues stronger than ever.
Well, you guys had the vision, and you're such good communicators that we saw that vision once you described it, and it was easy to greenlight it once you made your presentation.
Oh, I hate to interrupt these compliments. You can just keep going, but I do want to give the line score 0 across there in the top of the 6th for Orleans. Going to the bottom of the 6th, still 1-0. Firebirds on top. And thank you, Mr. Troy. A few handshakes all around. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 coming up for Chatham. Cooper Ingle, terrific baseball name. The designated hitter from Clemson, a lefty. He will dig in. He walked and flew out, and at some point, the fans here would like to see a base hit. Let's start there. Reynolds is on for his 2nd inning of work, and there's the base hit into left field. Ask and you shall receive. Big turn at first by Ingle. He'll hang on. First hit of the game for the Anglers. And that brings up Rock Riggio.
Pretty nice piece of hitting right there. Ball's a little up and in on it. Just got his hands out in front.
Yeah, went the other way.
Absolutely. Old-fashioned baseball right there.
Another lefty now at the dish. Riggio 0 for 1 with a walk. Short lead for Ingle. He's being held on over there as Reynolds will deal. Hit on the ground. Nice diving play by the first baseman, who recovers and gets over to first base. As that could have been a base hit.
That's huge.
Heck of a play there by Keishel, who made a dive, came up with it, lost the ball briefly, recovered, didn't panic. Advancing to second base is Ingle. Very nice play. 3 unassisted for the first out.
Could have very easily been first and third, no outs.
Caden Grice now, the hitter. First baseman from Clemson, 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Lefty on lefty as Reynolds Deals outside. 1-0. 1-4-0 Orleans. 0-1-0 Chatham. A's have had a few guys in scoring position. There's another one out there, as that one is chopped to second base. Slow roller for Furman, who scoops, gathers, throws. 2 down, 4-3. And over to third crosses Engel. So the tying run is 90 feet away for Lyle Miller Green.
This is when your pitcher has to trust his catcher with his breaking stuff. You have to trust him to throw your breaking stuff because you want to get the ball down in this situation, and you're going to have to maybe bounce one.
Infielders back, outfielders deep. Lefty against righty. Pitch. Upstairs, 1-0 with a fastball. 90 miles an hour. That's an upgrade here at Veterans Field since we were here. Did not have the old gun. You could maybe sometimes on the road check a scout's gun, but they have it right out there in left center field, which is nice. The 1-0. There's a strike, 1-1.
Chef, how hard would it be for the coaching staff to get the catchers on the same page as pitchers, most of whom have never met until they get here?
It's difficult. It's very, very difficult because you have, and I don't know, when I last was there.
1-1 right back to the mound. Snared nicely by Reynolds. He'll jog toward first and flip over there to retire the side. A couple well-struck balls in this half frame, but to no avail as Chatham gets no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We will take this break as we are through 6 innings. This ball game moving at a very fast clip because these pitchers have been terrific. We will head to the top half of the 7th inning for the Orleans Cardinals coming to bat, looking to build on their 1-0 advantage here at Veterans Field with the sun sinking and lighting up the sky, all sorts of colors in left field. A gorgeous night on Cape Cod. Guy Benson, Dan Duva, 20 years in.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on GRC.
Sun coming up over New York City. School bus driver in a traffic jam, staring at the faces in a rearview mirror, looking at the promise of the promised land. One kid dreams of fame and fortune.
Onward to the 7th here at Veterans Field in Chatham. 1-0 the score. Visiting team on top. It's Anthony Nunez leading off, the third baseman from Tampa, against Ben Hampton, out for inning number 7 of work, which you really don't see that often anymore up here. As the pitch is in the dirt, 1-0 from Hampton.
Pitch count. Where are we at with the pitch
60.
count? Oh, I didn't. Okay.
So says the scoreboard, at least.
I'm behind a pole. Okay.
1-0 is
that's why.
Tapped at the plate, 1-1.
Why not?
Yeah, we were chatting about it earlier in the broadcast because it came up with Kelly Nicholson. You just don't anticipate that happening at this point because he used the word renting. We are renting these guys from their college programs, and it's not worth putting someone in a position where they're pitching more than the college coach would like.
1-1 is fouled at the plate, 1-2.
It's always been a rental, but I think they're getting really, really tough on the rentals. The college. I remember going back several years ago when we were talking about pitch
1-2. Hit on the ground through the left side. It's a base hit. Just a roller, but hit perfectly with eyes where it needed to go. And the leadoff man is on here in the 7th for Orleans.
Some college coaches' pitch counts are almost absurd. Like I remember one college coach told a Cape League manager, hey, he gets 30 pitches an outing and 10 are fastballs, 10 are curveballs, 10 are changeups. That's it. And now, this is low.
So that was Kevin Sim with the base hit. As the pitch outside from Hampton to Isaac Humphrey, the right fielder.
And so Kelly Nicholson told us, 75, 80 pitches is a lot for a guy at this point. And again,
as the 1-0 misses down again, 2-0.
Hampton's in the mid-60s right now. Right. But Molsky is warming in the bullpen, the right hand.
Probably a pretty short leash at this point.
I would think so. But again, he probably didn't go that far in college.
Sim off of first, takes his lead. 2-0 pitch. Fastball framed. Didn't get the call. 3-0 now. Isaac Humphrey is 1 for 2 on the day. He struck out in the second. He singled in the fourth as he takes a strike.
I'd be surprised if Kelly runs on this pitch. Why not?
3-1. Lefty against lefty. Humphrey waiting. And the pitch is golfed foul left side. Full count.
We haven't seen the move, so we don't know. So maybe you're a little weary about going without seeing the move.
Well, here's the payoff coming up. And it is lined to short. Nice backhand play by Brown. He goes to second for 1. The relay is not going to be in time, but boy, that was a pretty play just to get the lead runner. The backhand play by Brown. And there's 1 down.
That's big time play. Big time play right there. I thought they might have had him off the bag, but nobody's saying anything.
Jason Klump is the left side umpire, and there's no video replay in the Cape League, so who knows what might have happened in the majors. But if I'm the umpire, that's too pretty of a play. I'm calling it out.
Yeah, but they don't do that anymore.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
Mound visit here, as Humphrey, by the way, reaches on a fielder's choice. Sim is forced out 6-4. And that's going to be it for Ben Hampton, who gets a very well-deserved round of applause. Big hand here from the Chatham faithful as he goes 6 1/3. A run on 5 hits so far. He is responsible for Humphrey over at first base, and we will take this opportunity to step aside. We'll tell you all about the call to the bullpen for Chatham when we come back. 1-0 Orleans in the top of the 7th. Stay with us.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Back in Chatham, time now for a call to the bullpen, brought to you by the Chatham Bars Inn, New England's premier oceanfront resort. Into the game comes righty Tommy Molsky, a Pennsylvania native who plays at Penn State in the proud Big Ten Conference, the proud and expanding Big Ten Conference. How about that in college athletics in the last couple of weeks?
Wow.
He struggled a bit on the Cape with a 6.13 ERA to this point. And one thing that was interesting to me was when he came in, Rubenstein, the catcher, did not immediately start warming him up. They stood on the mound for a solid 30 or 45 seconds talking with gloves over their mouths. Seemed like Rubenstein had a few pearls of wisdom, maybe some intel for the incoming pitcher.
Well, it looks like he's got some velo. He's got 12 strikeouts, and he throws strikes as long as he has 3 walks, but maybe he's around the plate too much because he's given up a number of hits, too. But he has some velo, I think, striking out that many guys.
The Anglers have I'll call him substitute pitching coach, Dennis Cook, who has been with the Anglers for the last 4 seasons that have been played. He's away from the team right now. Jay Powell, another former major leaguer, he is the interim pitching coach. It's kind of an interesting circumstance.
Not the Fed chair, by the way, who's
no.
a little busy these days.
Different Jay Powell, but both major leaguers.
I couldn't resist that. Here's Austin Knight, the DH, runner on first, 1 down. Molsky, as we said, into the game. His pitching arm dangling as he stares in, now looks over, sets, and from the stretch, the pitch. Outside, question mark, 1-0. All that attention paid on the college football side as the 1-0 is high and tight, 2-0. To the just formalized addition of USC and UCLA to the Big Ten Conference. Of course, football and to a lesser extent basketball, the moneymakers, but that's a game changer for Big Ten baseball.
Right.
And a huge revolution in now Pac-12 minus baseball.
Right.
2-0 is low, 3-0. So Molsky struggling to find the strike zone so far.
I don't think they're going to. UCLA and USC are going to really enjoy a lot of the games they're going to have to play.
Those April visits to Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan. Yeah, let's go. Indiana, here we go.
3-0. And the pitch is a strike, taking all the way. 93 miles an hour on the fastball. No way that Knight was going to swing at that.
No.
3-1.
Meanwhile, those Northwestern Wildcats are going to love going to Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's true.
No doubt.
Cats
college softball, women's softball, big change as well.
Cats picked up the former Chatham as their new head coach.
They did.
Jimmy Foster.
Oh, I didn't know that. How about
3-1. Runner goes, pitch is low. So that's ball 4. And it's first and second with 1 out for Orleans, with Gilmet coming up, the catcher.
Number 10, Derek
As you may have gathered, I'm a Northwestern guy. When we were here 20 years ago, in those couple of summers, there were a few Wildcats here in this league, including J.A. Happ with Harwich, who went on to a lengthy major league career.
Solid program.
I asked him, I had not yet attended Northwestern. I was an incoming freshman, and I asked him summer before, how is it? First, here's the pitch, low, 1-0. He said hard.
Okay. Well, there you go.
He wasn't wrong.
No.
1-0 the count. First and second, Orleans threatening. Visiting half of the 7th inning, they already lead 1-0. They're trying to build on that advantage. Runners dance off of their respective bases as Molsky deals inside 2-0.
At least there's still a baseball program there, unlike Providence College. Won the 98 Big East Championship, and that was it. Syracuse undefeated since 1973.
Yeah.
Haven't had a team since then.
And we'll get a chat on the mound because so far this is not what Chatham had in mind.
But I will quickly add on the college baseball front, as someone who's also a Fordham guy, you know, the winningest college baseball program in history. Hundreds more wins than the Texas Longhorns. It's the Fordham Rats.
Yeah.
It's 160-some years now of Fordham baseball. And Texas won't catch them for many decades, I hope. Mathematically would be hard to do.
A dominant baseball team in the Bronx.
As I sit next to 2 Yankee fans. Schiff, people might not know why you wore number 15 here.
Thurman Munson. I just loved him. Loved the way he played the game.
2-0 is the count. Runners lead first and second. 1 out as Molsky checks at second and blew it past him. 2-1.
Big hack. That's a good hack at 2-0. Attaboy. Attaboy. Take a hack, 2-0.
Gilmet got his money's worth with that swing,
sure
but did not connect. 2-1 the count as Molsky, long set from the belt, deals low and away. 3-1 now.
I don't think the ball's going to travel very much tonight. It's kind of a cool air. The air is going to be a little dead, little heavy because it's cool. So they're going to put together a few base hits. If something goes out today, somebody's hit it very well.
Hitters count for Gilmet. and he pops one right side into shallow right field. Oncoming and making the catch, Miller Green, out number 2. Hit it a mile high.
That ball went through several layers of increasingly darker blue sky.
For us, they saw it fine.
Yeah, the deep blue, highest up. Still some dusk out there. We saw some little ribbons of orange, pink. If you've never made it to Veterans Field and you're thinking about making the trip, we recommend it.
Absolutely.
Here's Stinson, the lefty swinging left fielder, and he takes a fastball inside. 1-0. Stinson 0 for 2, wrapped into a double play and struck out swinging. Runners from first and second. Now with 2 down. Molsky trying to steady the ship and get out of this as the 1-0 is in there for strike 1. Count levels.
One of the kiddie poos making some noise here.
There you go.
This guy likes to call it.
Crowd trying to get into it. Haven't had much to cheer about here at Veterans Field, at least if you're wearing blue. 1-0 the score, home team down. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Looped foul down the right field line into that bullpen of Orleans, and now advantage Molsky. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 down. It's a line drive, but not hit terribly hard by Stinson.
But that one youngster who is still going with the Let's Go Anglers chant has gotten a number of the fans into it here. He's clapping all around the grandstand.
Staring in is Molsky. Runners have their leads. And the pitch. Ooh, just got a piece of it.
Battle it.
Got a piece back to the screen, 1-2 still.
Good 2-strike at bat, 2-strike swing right there. He battled that pitch off.
Chatham will visit YD tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, 4:40 pregame. Joe and Ian will be back. The league is off on Monday. Trip to Fenway Park. Always a highlight. 1-2. And the pitch. Hit on the ground to first base, waiting for the hop. Bryce, he will field over and flip to Molsky, who makes the play to end the inning.
PFPs right there, PFPs. They work on it all the time.
I thought that he might take it himself, but Molsky was off the mound in a jiff, and he was able to make the play over at first base to retire Stinson. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 men left. It's time for the 7th inning stretch, and let's listen to Take Me Out to the Ball Game, performed by a crowd of kiddie poos at Veterans Field.
Pete's out of breath.
1, 2, 3.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Let me jump in and proud. I don't care whatever, but that's the way to play. Root for the Anglers. Into the shame. It's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
So, a very emphatic and confident finish to that rendition, which they cobbled together for the most part. The kids here at Veterans Field still waiting for Chatham to get on the board. Anglers trail 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. In the meantime, get up and stretch on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Cape Cod Baseball Network and the A's. Sports Radio play-by-play. Chatham A's on the air. Take me out to the ball game.
A quick break we've ever taken, I think, there as we're back. Bottom of the 7th for Chatham, and a pinch hitter. Mitchell Daly into the game. Righty swinger, we'll tell you more about him in a second. But first, here's the pitch. It's low and away from Reynolds, still out there for Orleans. Mitchell, an Alabama native from the University of Texas, batting .200 this season. Takes low 2-0.
2 for 10, guy. Couple of runs scored, too.
Josh, no strike here.
Daly wags the bat above his head. He awaits the 2-0. He takes it. It's outside 3-0 from Cole Reynolds. So Daly is pinch hitting for Nunez, who was the scheduled hitter here. 3-0 coming. He missed again. 4 straight balls and a man aboard for Chatham.
At this point, I think Orleans is going to go with him for a while because there's a pitcher in the pen right now, but he's not getting super hot. He's just kind of tossing. Yeah, he's still. Yeah, there's no real worry at this point. I'm going to finish, go as far as I can with him at this point.
The batter now is Jake DeLeo, center fielder. 0 for 2 with a pair of Ks, both of the swinging variety. He rips that one fair down the left field line over the glove of Sim. Holding at second base is the lead runner, Daly. That one was hit very hard. I would imagine a base hit.
I would say yes. That was
indeed.
Hit pretty hard. The kid made a hell of a try at it too. That gobbled him up.
So a walk, and now a hard single into left field, and Chatham might be in business. Here's the catcher, Jack Rubenstein, who struck out in the second, was hit by a pitch in the 5th. First and second, no one out. Lefty against righty. Spinning and bluffing towards second base is Reynolds.
Idea. They wanted to see what Chatham was doing. The batter squared around. That was why they wanted to fake that pick. So they're bunting, or at least maybe they took it off. But
well, he's the number 9 hitter.
Yep.
He squares, gets it down, and it'll get the job done. Oh boy, it gets away from Reynolds, who recovers and barely nips Rubenstein at first base. An awkward play there. Some boos from the crowd. They thought that Rubenstein may have legged it out, but not so, says Jason Klump, the umpire. But the sacrifice successful. Runners advance to second and third. Putout goes 1-3, and back to the top of the order now, and Guy Garibay. 0 for 3.
They're going to give him the run. The infield's back.
Interesting.
Well,
try to avoid a bigger inning, potentially.
2. Yeah, it's 2 if they bring him in.
Pitch is a hard strike, outer edge, 0-1.
By the way, Guy, that's the 5th sacrifice bunt for the Anglers.
Daly at third, DeLeo at second, 0-1, outside, 1-1. The tying run 90 feet away. The potential go-ahead run down at second base. With only 1 out, and as Schiff mentioned, infield is back, except sort of at third. Here comes the 1-1. Big swing and a foul tip.
With a lefty up, you'll shorten your third baseman just a little bit. Chances of him, if he hits a ground ball deep to third, he's going to be safe. So you're going to just kind of bring him up just a little bit, because if he's going to go that way, more than likely it's going to be a dribbler.
Garibay, the left fielder, out of Rice, took a moment out of the box and brief stroll. 1-2. And the pitch. High. 2-2. Everyone waited for a moment
close,
there.
Yeah, that was close.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Probably not a pitch you want to take with 2 strikes.
Marcus Brown on deck, the shortstop. The lefty, Reynolds, now deals. Swung on and missed. Oh my word, they called that not a swing?
Oh no.
Pat Burns, the left side umpire, extended his arms and said, no, that's ball 3. Well, beats me.
First, the home plate umpire, J.C. Hernandez, had to ask.
He banged him.
Yeah.
Well, the count is now full. A big ooh from the crowd. Here's a payoff. Runners lead. Pitch. Chop towards third. Charging and misplaying it is Sim. The run comes home. And the game is tied 1-1. Daly jets home to tie it up. Over to third is DeLeo. And that's an E5.
What's that, E?
Against Sim. Schiff, you want that to be called a hit.
That's a do or die right there. Infield's in. Ball going to the guy's left. But, all right. It's good at bat. Excellent at bat. Put the bat on the ball in that situation.
He was given a second life.
Yeah.
On that check swing, which I will put in air quotes. I think a lot of people in this place thought he was out. He was not. And then he gets the wood on the ball.
Yeah.
Tough play over at third base.
Yeah.
Sim had no play at the plate, but maybe he was thinking he might.
Yeah.
And he then dropped it. So everyone's safe. First and third. Still only one out. The equalizer has already come home. And now Chatham has a real opportunity to grab the lead for the first time tonight. The hitter, Marcus Brown. Brown is 0 for 2. He walked back in the first inning. He was stranded at third. The A's had 3 men aboard in the first inning. Walk, walk, walk. With only one out, they were not able to scratch across even a run, but now they have here in the 7th. Game tied at 1. Runners at the corners. Orleans wants to turn 2. Reynolds at the belt. He'll deal. Fouled off. Just off to our left. 0-1. The sun has set on Cape Cod. Temperature dropping. No risk of fog, thankfully.
No.
It's a lefty-lefty matchup here. Chatham looking for more. As the 0-1 on its way. Nubbed. Fair down the first baseline. There's going to be no play at first base. They tried. As Reynolds came flying off the mound, he was able to glove it and flip not in time. So they did make a play. The run comes home, and Chatham has now taken a 2-1 lead on an RBI infield hit by Marcus Brown.
I think at that point where the ball was, he should have just let it roll and see what happens. He made a nice play, let it go, and if it rolls foul, then everybody goes back. So it's a tough call to make.
It looked like there was one bounce, I'm going to say 20 feet up the line, where I thought it was starting to go foul to one bounce, and then it hugged the inside toward the grass.
Here's Engel, the DH. Runners lead first and second now. Pitch way outside. Yeah, I thought it was going to kick foul.
Yeah.
Then it didn't.
Right.
And at that point, the run was going to score no matter what.
Correct.
The question was, could they make a play and make an out? And the answer ended up being no. 2-1. Anglers on top. Still threatening. With Engel out of Clemson. Waiting for the 1-0 from Reynolds. And here it comes. Low and away. 2-0. Garibay now at second. Brown with the RBI single at first. They're not exactly beating the hell out of the baseball in this inning, but it doesn't matter. 2 runs are up there after a frustrating first 6 frames for this offense. Here comes the 2-0. Fastball strike. Outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Humphrey deep in right field. Honeyman shaded toward left for the righty swinging batter as Engel awaits the 2-1. Upstairs 3-1.
If you're going to shade to the opposite field, he should bring in, unless they think that he can hit the ball over Honeyman's head. So they should bring him in if you're going to fade him like that.
Hitters count for the number 3 hitter, who's 1 for 2 today. And here comes that 3-1. Strike 2. Had some zip on the outside corner. Some of the fans thought it was off the outside corner, 91 miles an hour.
And listen, Cape League fans are going to occasionally show their disapproval.
No.
We've heard some grumbling tonight.
Full count now. Runners lead first and second, 2 in the bottom of the 7th. Chatham has taken the lead 2-1. And the payoff. He got him swinging. Nice pitch. He waved at it. Missed it by a lot. As Engel goes down cutting.
That's that slider. Pretty
2 down.
nasty, especially on a right-handed hitter, a left-handed hitter.
For Riggio. 1-5-1 for Orleans now. 2-3-0 for Chatham. Riggio from Oklahoma State is the second baseman, the cleanup hitter. Another lefty. Reynolds wants to limit the damage, stop the bleeding. And the pitch. Strike. Nice hard one on the outer edge. 93 on the gun. 0-1. With 2 down, the infield backs up. Outfielder still deep, except for Stinson in left. Swing and a miss on the 0-1, making it now 0-2. And Cole Reynolds would love to wriggle out of this one with only the 2 runs in.
That's a huge lead lately.
Timeout called at home plate. A moment for Riggio to contemplate. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Reached on a walk.
I think he felt that the pitcher was getting too much of a good rhythm going. He wanted to break that rhythm up.
Not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Runners take their leads. Garibay in scoring position. Reynolds set. There go the runners. The pitch is outside. Throw down to second base, not in time. A pair of stolen bases for Chatham, and now both runners in scoring position. Garibay to third, Garibay rather, and Brown over to second.
Good call right there.
Count goes to 1-2.
Nobody really thought that was coming. You got a lead. If somebody's thrown out, whatever.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Tap towards third, charging Sim. He will throw across and make the play 5-3 to retire the side. However, Chatham has gotten on the scoreboard. They get 2 runs on 2 hits, an error, and 2 men left. So the Anglers have been struggling and frustrated all night at home plate. They were getting no hit for a while, then shut out, but that all changed in the bottom of the 7th as they scratched 2 across, and they take the lead 2-1 over their rivals Orleans. We go to the 8th. Dan Duba back with your play-by-play the rest of the way. Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC.
Come out, Virginia, don't let me wait. Catholic girls start much too late. Oh, but sooner or later it comes down to fate. I might as well be the one. Well, they showed you a statue, told you to pray. They built you a temple and locked you away. Ah, but they never told you the price that you pay for the things that you might have done. Well, only the good die young. That's what I said. Only the good die young. Only the good die young. You might have heard I run with a dangerous crowd. We ain't too pretty, we ain't too proud. We might be laughing a bit too loud. Oh, but I never hurt no one. So come on, Virginia, show me a sign. Send up a signal, I'll throw you a line. Stay fast.
Gummy bears.
On to the 8th. Chatham has taken the lead 2-1. And now settling back in behind the play-by-play microphone. Going the distance, Dan Duva. Dan?
Thanks, Guy. 2-1 Anglers as we kick off the top of the 8th inning. Yeah, the first man up, Nick McCleary, takes the first pitch up and in, ball 1. McCleary is 0 for 2. Pop out in the 3rd, a strikeout in the 5th. And he's once again facing Tommy Molsky. First time this righty has seen this right-handed hitter. 1-0. Fastball, strike. Outside
Big
corner,
out right
it's
here.
1-1.
Big out. You want to tell your hitters, hey, thanks a lot for getting me that 2-run lead.
Outfield straightaway. Infield back except at the corners. And the next pitch, a called strike. It's 1-2. 9-1-2 for the Firebirds in the visiting 8th. 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error for Orleans. Chatham 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Now the 1-2 pitch. Popped up, shallow right field. Miller Green coming on. Slow trot, grabs it. Out 1 retired with Nick McCleary set aside to begin the 8th.
Big out, I think. Real big out. A lot of confidence with the pitcher. players are like, okay, got it. Yeah, we're going to roll right here.
We have an official scoring change.
Well, it was a controversial call, tough one, in betweener.
Yeah, the ground ball to third base that initially was ruled in error from the bat of Guy Garibay was ruled an E6.
Or an E5.
Or an E5, excuse me. I wrote down E5 and said E6. You know, you're rusty after all. Here comes the first pitch to the next batter. It's the leadoff man, Travis Honeyman. And that's ball one.
I think there was somebody in this booth that said it. It might have been a hit.
Yeah, and so anyhow,
he gets an RBI now.
So Guy Garibay now is credited with an RBI. So both Garibay and Brown have RBIs today. 1-0. Fastball misses outside. 2 balls, no strikes to Honeyman, who has scored the only Orleans run in today's contest. Led off the fourth with a double and scored moments later on the Furman double. Honeyman, the center fielder in the right-handed batter's box, waits on the 2-0 pitch from Molsky. Hesitates, takes the pitch. It's a called strike, 2-1. 83 miles an hour over the heart of the plate. Changed him up. Molsky peering in over the top of the glove. Here's his 2-1. Lifted towards the line, left field. Garibay going back toward the track, looking up at the wall, out of here. Landing just in front of the Chatham batting tunnel. Travis Honeyman has now scored both runs for Orleans today. A solo shot ties the game, 2-2 in the top of the 8th.
Got a little breeze blowing out to left field. That flag's been kind of dead most of the night, and it just took it out of there. I thought the air was too dead for a home run, especially in left field. You got a pretty good swing on that.
4th home run of the summer for Travis Honeyman from Long Island and Boston College.
He would have been a great black bear.
He's got 7 doubles and now 4 home runs, including those extra base hits here today. His last 2 times up.
You have to mention it. Chatham with some late inning leads disappearing this week.
He had a 4-0 lead in Brewster yesterday. Ended up at a tie. First pitch to Nate Furman is a ball. And it's 1-0. And I couldn't tell you where.
And some barking from the dugout.
I stopped. I stopped about 5-6 innings ago. I'm not, no.
1-0 pitch. That's tight with a fastball, 2-0. Nate Furman lined to right in the first inning. Had the RBI double in the 4th. And hit it to the first baseman in the 6th for a ground out. 2-0 coming from Molsky. Hit high in the air to right field. Miller Green drifting back. The ballpark holds this one. Miller Green makes the catch over his left shoulder. 1 away. That was hit a little too high. We've seen some moonshots over the years. One of my all-time favorite Guy Benson calls, Chef, is an Anthony Raglani moonshot. Summer of 2003.
Yep.
Is he GW Colonial?
Yep. Yes, he was.
Anthony Raglani.
Not the Colonials for long.
Here's Luke Keishel. Takes the first pitch, fastball called strike, 95 miles an hour from Tommy Molsky, the righty. 2-2 tie, top of the 8th inning. Orleans with 1 in the 4th, now 1 here in the 8th. Chatham got 2 in the 7th. Another fastball, that one just misses, perhaps outside, 1-1. Keishel has struck out 3 times today, each time swinging. Right-handed batter waits on the 1-1. Fastball taken outside, 2-1. Not too much of a breeze right now. Very slight movement towards left at the center field flagpole, which is at half mast. Now the 2-1. Hit hard towards right field. Miller Green coming in towards the line. He grabs it waist high to his left. Line out to right.
He was busy this inning.
And that retires the side. It was a fly to right for McCleary. It was a home run for Honeyman, and then Furman and Keishel hit it to right field. Miller Green with a few plays, and that ends the 8th. However, home run for Honeyman ties it 2-2. Bottom of the 8th coming up next on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Headed to the bottom of the 8th inning, Orleans and Chatham tied 2-2 with Guy Benson and John Schiffner. I'm Dan Duva. Call to the bullpen for the Firebirds, brought to you by Chatham Bars Inn. Number 23, a right-hander from Stetson, Cole Stallings, comes up. 6'2", 210 from Florida. He's appeared in 4 games. 3 of those appearances, Guy, are starts. He's totaled 8 innings, but his ERA at 3.37. His record is 0-1, and in the walks to strikeout department, he has walked 6 and struck out 7. That is Cole Stallings.
We will also briefly bring you the Cape Cod Baseball League out-of-town scoreboard, sponsored by Sweet Tomatoes Pizza. We're slightly tardy on that, but better late than never. 3 finals and 1 game still ongoing. It was Falmouth 7, Brewster 3. Game's over. Harwich clobbering Catuit 11-6. And YD squeaks one out against Wareham 4-2. And a slugfest underway in Hyannis 9-7. The home team leading Bourne in the bottom of the 8th. Here in Chatham, tied at 2 in the bottom of the 8th as well.
And Chatham got 2 in the bottom of the 7th to take the lead 2-1, but then the tying run on the homer from Honeyman last inning. Caden Grice leads off the home 8th and takes the first pitch, ball 1. Grice struck out in the 1st, struck out in the 4th, grounded to 2nd in the 6th. So he's 0 for 3. A lefty waits on the 1-0. Takes a fastball high, 2 balls and no strikes.
I would like to see him come out of his shoes right now.
He's got the swing. Does he have the contact? 2-0. Breaking ball.
Ooh.
Drops in, strike call, 2-1.
Pitching backwards.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Grice with the bat held high. Swings and misses at the 2-1. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Goes for a little stroll outside the lefty batter's box.
Right now they need somebody in scoring position.
Chatham has loaded the bases a couple of times today. They did not score back in the 1st when they did so. 2-2. Taken low and outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Caden Grice today batting in the 5-hole, playing first base and leading off this home 8th.
If I were him right now, I'd cheat to a fastball. Just find it.
Playing him
Find
deep
the
and
fastball,
right.
foul off the breaking pitch.
The payoff. Swing and a foul ball. In and out of the catcher's glove. Gilmet could not squeeze it. Count holds at 3-2.
Barely stays alive.
Yeah, barely is right. Well, everybody's back over at first base. Keishel guards the line. 3-2 pitch. Curveball lifted to shallow left center field. Falling fast. Stinson coming on. Slides and makes the play. Stinson went with a feet-first slide to get underneath the falling baseball. And though Grice went opposite way, that was not what you had in mind with the way he was swinging.
No.
Had enough contact and also a little too much air underneath it. Stinson makes
left
the play.
fielder closed on it very nicely.
Now 1 down. And up comes Lyle Miller Green, the right fielder, who had a busy inning in the field in the top of the 8th. First pitch to him. Taken just inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Green is 0 for 2. Walked in the 4th inning. Right-handed hitter in his 2nd season with the Chatham Anglers. Arrived just last week for his 2nd tour of duty here. 1-0 pitch. Fastball catches the outside corner, 1-1.
I'm trying to think. This guy reminds me of somebody we had from Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh.
Canadian kid. Can't think of his first name right now.
1-1.
Tell you, he even stayed with the Bushes.
Pitch missed. 2 balls, 1 strike.
As in Pitt? He was a Panther? Or
Pitt,
he was...
Yeah, Pitt Panther. Right-handed pitcher.
Turn that into a trivia question. Who does this man remind Schiff of?
Cole Stallings delivers the pitch, fouled off. Goes to the right side, right near the screen that protects the batter's boys. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, this is not it, obviously, but there was a catcher for Chatham whose name was Jacob Stallings.
Yeah.
Who went to North Carolina, whose dad was the basketball coach, if I'm not mistaken, at Pittsburgh.
Yep. Yes, he was.
So that's a little bit of a stretch.
Where'd you go with that, Dan?
Yeah.
Here's the 2-2. Misses upstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cole Stallings going up against Lyle Miller Green. 2-2 tie, home half of the 8th inning. And worth pointing out that there are no extra innings in the Cape Cod Baseball League this regular season. Chatham has 5 ties, including one yesterday. 3-2, breaking ball down and in. Trying to go with a breaker there and missed. It's a walk on a 3-2 pitch from Lyle Miller Green. Both Grice and Miller Green working full counts in that respective at-bat. And now the pinch runner comes on.
South Carolina, number 10, Matt Hogan.
You hear Matt Hogan's name called out by public address announcer Peter Burns.
Texas, number 11, Mitchell
Dan, you were mentioning the abundance of ties due to the rule, no extra innings. Pre-game, we were chatting with Kelly Nicholson, skipper for Orleans. He said you might as well call this league the CCHL. Little nod to your hockey background.
There it is.
No overtime losses, though.
Well, keep in mind there haven't been ties in the National Hockey League it's been 15 years since the shootout was adopted to settle games tied after overtime.
Regular season, of course.
Of course. So here comes the next batter. That's Mitchell Daly, who was a pinch hitter last inning, and he takes the first pitch for a strike called 0-1. Daly came on in place of Anthony Nunez. Nunez was 0 for 2, but Daly walked and scored Chatham's first run last inning. The right-handed hitter waits on the 0-1 pitch. Stallings throws to first, safe. Miller Green with a dive. Excuse me, not Miller Green. He's got a pinch runner I just told you about. Hogan with athleticism over there for sure.
You got to move this guy at some point.
Hogan a healthy lead. Right-hander Stallings delivers. It's a bouncing ball that is blocked by the catcher. However, Hogan off with the pitch, makes it into second, ahead for a slide, and he is there, pops up standing with what will be, I'm not sure if it'll be a steal.
He got a great jump.
It should be, yeah.
Great jump. And then Gilmet had no chance with that ball in the dirt. He just had to make an effort to keep the ball in front of him.
So it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
They've shown tonight that they're not afraid to steal third, so they got to be, Orleans has got to be a little, they got to keep him closer.
Third steal of the game for Chatham, now 25 on the season. And time called at home plate. Daly steps out, and the catcher Gilmet with a couple of signals out to the pitcher in Cole Stallings.
This kills me. Gotta look at my card.
It's like the director's cut. The Cape Cod Baseball Network with John Schiffner.
Here comes Cole Stallings. Checks the runner off second, 1-1. Fastball high and tight. 2 balls and 1 strike.
See, now the walk isn't going to be good in this situation because that's the winning run. Earlier in the game when that walk happened, it was okay. You set up a force. Now you're putting the winning run on first base.
Infield is shaded to the pole side against Daly. Second baseman cheating towards the second base bag. The pitch is the inside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Mitchell Daly.
That's a tough breaking pitch right there. That's hard. Very, very firm breaking pitch. Bet it has good spin rate.
2-2 tie, bottom of the 8th inning at Veterans Field in Chatham. Anglers looking for their 6th win of the season. They trail the Firebirds by 8 points in the standings, 4 back of Harwich. The pitch just misses away. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, the stingy zone is at least consistent in that way. Is that diplomatic enough?
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Each of the 3 batters this half inning have gone full against the pitcher Cole Stallings. He's set at the belt. Hogan dancing off a second, a couple of extra shifts back and forth. Stallings steps off and fakes a phantom throw back towards the bag and does not make it. Hogan is there standing.
That's from the Brian Roberts, Mike Roberts school of getting leads off of second base, the bouncing back and forth, bouncing forward, and at some point he could bounce forward, hit the ground, and go.
Here comes the payoff from Stallings to Daly. Swing and a miss, upstairs, beat him. Strike 3. Daly is retired for the 2nd out of the inning.
Brian Roberts, Chatham A's in 1998, longtime career in the majors with the Baltimore Orioles. Played for his dad, Mike, in North Carolina. Mike was let go. Brian went to South Carolina. Of course, Mike Roberts ended up here coaching the Cotuit Kettleers.
Very successfully. He's done a great job down there.
And coming into the day, the Kettleers with the most points in the Cape Cod Baseball League, 32 of them. 3 better than the Hyannis Harbor Hawks out in the West Division. YD leading the East 1 point over Brewster. Orleans in third, Harwich, and then Chatham.
DeLeo to first on the intentional walk.
Intentional walk, so they have first and second with 2 outs. And so it's Jack Rubenstein, the catcher, who takes a breaking ball in the dirt, ball 1. Rubenstein executed the sacrifice bunt last inning. It was the bottom of the 7th. Was retired 1-3, but it was a successful sacrifice, getting Daly and DeLeo into scoring position, and then Garibay brought them home. Here comes the 1-0. That is low, 2 balls and no strikes. Garibay's grounder to the left side eventually ruled a hit, brought in Daly, and then it was an infield hit from Brown that brought home the second run in DeLeo. All set up by the sacrifice bunt from this man, Jack Rubenstein. Right-handed hitter with a very open stance. Back of the box, waits on the 2-0. Fastball popped up down the right field line, foul ground. That'll end up in the crowd. Over near the playground guy.
Close. A lot of this crowd sticking around, Dan, tonight. It was a nice crowd to begin with. You'd expect that at this point of the summer. Ballpark nestled perfectly in this topography. Still some scattered fans out there on that hill, which stretches from just left of center field all the way into foul ground in right. Nice blue grandstand behind home plate. Some bleachers down each baseline.
First and second with 2 outs. 2-1 pitch. Hit on the ground, left side, toward the hole, cut off at the shortstop. McCleary throws to third, the runner falls over and is tagged out. McCleary to Sin down on the field.
Wow.
And that retires the side. Hogan came hard around third, fell over, and he couldn't scamper back to third base. And what looked to be an infield hit, they rule it a fielder's choice. And Chatham cannot keep the rally going. The game remains tied through 8.
Wow, that was interesting.
The old 6-5 non-force putout.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often.
Yeah. I didn't see the coach. I wasn't sure what his call was there. I hope he was holding him. The runner was just so excited. I got a chance here, and just overran it ever so slightly.
With that,
Dollar Dogs, hot dogs.
Get ready for the top of the 9th inning. Remember, no extras this year in the Cape Cod Baseball League. 2-2 tie as we go to the 9th. No runs on, I guess that's not a hit, right? So no hits and no errors, but in that case, it ends up being 1 man left aboard. We've got another guest in the broadcast booth. There have been 4 jerseys retired in the 100-year, 99-year history of the Chatham A's. And 2 of them are on the air with us right now.
That's
Number 15, John Schiffner, is in the booth. But now we are joined by number 19.
Big Ed.
He's Big Ed, Ed Baird. Hello, Ed.
Thank you very much for letting me join in. I stepped away from my merchandise duties for a few to join Celebrity Row. My friends John Schiffner, Dan Duva, and Guy Benson.
Well, it was so special to have the ceremony on the field a few days ago to recognize you and Big Ed. And we're taking photographs here at the booth. Of course, why not?
Hey, you got it.
And what was that like for you?
It was a very, very special night for me. I was very honored and very humbled by the experience.
Big Ed, not just a star player for the Chatham A's, the Chatham Town team in the 1960s. Here in 65, 66, and 67, and of course, championship team in 1967.
if I could just take a minute, I'd like to reach out and say thank you to Martha Schiffner for letting her husband out of the house tonight.
As we go to the top of the 9th inning, and Kevin Sim leads off, swings at the first pitch from Molsky. It's 0-1.
Martha's at home listening to the game with her dog Willow.
0-1 pitch, fastball fouled back to the screen, 0-2.
Only if she was able to figure out how to get the game on the internet.
Yeah, I may have overreacted. That's good.
Yeah, I know.
I choose to believe that she's listening.
Choose to believe.
Hi, Martha.
Sure. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses high. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I think she's got 48 Hours on or 20/20. You know, any one of those shows that shows how a wife can kill their husband.
Now the 1-2 is a bouncing ball left side. And it's the replacement third baseman who gets them in time. Nice play. Nunez had started the game. Daly had come on to play third base. It was Daly to make the play there, gunning across the diamond to make it a 5-3 put out.
Number 30, Isaac.
Well, as perhaps we don't mention often enough on the broadcast, you can still dial the 1-800 telephone number to listen to the broadcast. Internet is actually not required.
I actually prefer it.
Yeah, the 1-800, as the next pitch is a
I do that all the time and listen on the way home.
Ed showed that to Martha, but it wasn't funny.
Humphrey is the batter. It's 0-1 after the swinging strike. Left-handed hitter against Molsky, waiting on that 0-1 from the full windup. Here it comes. It's an off-speed pitch that misses inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2-2 tie, top of the 9th inning. Bases empty, 1 out for Orleans. Righty versus lefty. Here comes the 1-1. Fastball low. Looked like you overthrew that one a bit.
Can I interject one criticism?
You certainly may.
I know the purpose of the league created this tie scenario. It's gotten out of hand. There's just too many ties in this league.
2-1 outside. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Something needs to be done about the rule.
Well, I was going to say before, I was going to bring it up, that you have a 30-man roster, and you should be carrying anywhere between 15 to 16 pitchers.
3-1.
I just don't think that...
It's hitting the air down the left field line, and Garibay is over, makes the play.
I know what some of my fellow coaches have said is that it's not fair that the teams that don't have lights don't pitch as many innings as other teams do.
Right.
And
Valid.
Pardon?
Valid.
Yes. It's just, it's not baseball, you know.
Would the alternative be to have 1 extra inning with the guy on second to lead off like they do in Major League Baseball?
I think you go that way, and and then you put a stop to I think we had a stop a few years ago at 14 or 15 or something like that.
Here's Austin Knight, and Knight takes the first pitch for a strike called 0-1.
If you don't have enough arms with a 16-man staff, I just think something's wrong. You're managing your staff wrong. Sorry, Dan.
0-1 is swung on and missed. 0-2. Well, we've got Schiff all excited. You know, we do have the manager show to talk about such things.
Yeah, that's right.
And we did.
And we did.
Yep. Oh,
and
am I repeating myself?
No, not
okay,
at all.
Good.
Well, I was going to go to a callback here. Here's the 0-2. Wild outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
We touched on some of the changes in the league.
Yeah.
And more than a few since Big Ed's time here, where you were dominant. You were one hell of a player in this league.
Well, I don't know.
I do. I've seen the stats. I didn't see it with my own eyes, but the stats speak for themselves.
1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Breaking ball got him. Molsky strikes out Austin Knight to retire the side. And we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Last licks for the Anglers. They cannot lose tonight. They can tie or win it. Drama at Veterans Field on this 9th of July. Chatham trying to get back in the win column. They've got loss, tie. They have not won since the 4th of July when these gentlemen, John Schiffner and Big Ed Barrett, were honored in a wonderful ceremony. Schiff said season doesn't really begin until the 4th of July against Orleans. It's July 9th, Chatham, Orleans on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on DRC.
Can't see nothing in front of me. Can't see nothing coming up behind. Make my way through this darkness. I can't feel nothing but this chain that binds me. Lost track of how far I've gone. How far I've gone, how high I've climbed. 60-pound stone on the shoulder, half-mile line. Come on up for the rising. Come on up, lay your hands in mine. Come on up for the rising. Come on up for the rising tonight. Left the house this morning. Bells are ringing, fill the air. I was swearing across the
Home half of the ninth. Knotted at 2 at Veterans Field. The A's and the Firebirds get a chance to walk it off here for Chatham if they can get a run across. And they'll have to do so if they can against a new pitcher, Dan.
Indeed, Guy. Shane Telfer from Pepperdine has come on. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Chatham Bars Inn. Telfer from Pepperdine is a left-handed pitcher, 6'1", 205 pounds. From Pepperdine, as we mentioned, he's appeared in 6 games, actually started one, 8 2/3. He's given up 7 runs, 7 earned, only 9 hits though. 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. He's 0-1. Top of the lineup for the Anglers.
Yeah, in this situation, you want to get this guy out, get the leadoff man out.
Guy Garibay, who eventually was given a hit on his last at-bat, and he fouls the first pitch back toward the press box, but just missed it wide right. And it's strike one.
Outfield and infield are basically in no double situation right here. I wouldn't mind having my third baseman closer to the line, but that's why I'm here, not in the dugout.
He did win 541 games this league. Here's 0-1. Breaking ball. That is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. First year for our guest broadcaster in this league was as a player in 74.
First year as a player.
1-1. That is on the outside corner.
That's a long time ago.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Guy Garibay out of Providence College. Played a few years for the Harwich Mariners and eventually made it to Chatham as an assistant coach in 78 under manager Ed Lyons. Next pitch just misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Guy Garibay, leading off the bottom of the 9th. And then Schiff came back 1990 as an assistant coach.
Yep.
And then in 1993, when Rich Hill left, Schiff became the interim manager. Next pitch fouled back to the screen by Garibay. It stays 2-2. 16-7. The rest of the 93 campaign made the playoffs, and then 1994, your first full season as manager.
Correct.
25 seasons as manager, 541 regular season wins, and many, many other accolades. 2-2 hits him. Up and in. Garibay rocks backward. Got him on the forearm. And he shakes it out the right hand. Jogs on down to first. After a tough at bat, it was 2-2. Fouled off a pitch, and then he took it up and in the left-handed batter's box. Leadoff man is aboard for Chatham in the bottom of the 9th, tied 2-2.
Yeah, there's your winning run if you can get him around. Schiff, I have to ask, you were here for so long, you won so many games. Someone wakes you up in the dead of night from a deep sleep. What's the best team you coached here? What's your answer?
05. It has to be. I mean, just...
Next pitch, Marcus Brown takes it. It's in the dirt, gets away from the catcher. On to second goes Garibay.
You know, you can't, I think it was 7 or 8 first rounders and 13 big leaguers and many double AAA. That was a really, really good team.
Even at the time, there were 8 All-Stars on that team. And Brooks Brown could have been enough.
And they didn't win it all.
Yeah.
Orleans beat him in the East.
We couldn't beat Orleans. I think we had 30 wins that year, and Orleans beat us a total of 6 times, maybe.
Garibay off second.
6 out of 9, I think Orleans beat us.
Brown waits on the pitch from Telfer. The lefty deals. Fastball low. And that's taken for ball 2. So Marcus Brown has in mind here, Guy.
He was showing bunt, understandably.
So the corners are up. Keishel at first and Sim at third.
Ideally make the third baseman field it.
Brown, slightly open stance, squares and pushes it towards the shortstop. This will be a base hit. The shortstop, McCleary, holds onto the baseball. It's an infield hit for Marcus Brown.
Wow.
First and third, nobody out, bottom of the 9th, in a tie ball game.
And a roar
Outstanding.
of approval from the crowd here.
Outstanding.
The remnants of 2,902 here at Veterans Field. And they are hoping that that runner, standing about 88 feet away from home plate, will cross and win it. Runners at the corners, no one out.
Infield must come in.
Have to.
Cooper Ingle now the batter. The designated hitter has one of Chatham's 5 hits today. That was a single back in the 6th inning. He struck out his last time.
Some managers would load the bases right now.
The first pitch is outside. The catcher grabs it. Gilmet with the glove on his left hand, lunging and reaching as far as he could off the tip of his glove, prevented the winning run from coming home on a wild pitch. 1 ball, no strikes to Ingle.
Interesting rally. A hit batsman, wild pitch, crazy bunt single to shortstop.
Ingle has 12 hits, but no RBIs. The pitch, swing and a foul ball. The runner was in motion to second. They'll have to go back. It's 1-1 on Cooper Ingle. They got Garibay on third base. Brown on first base. A slow clap here with a fresh baseball tossed out to Telfer.
Boisterous crowd.
Trying to will the Anglers to a victory in the bottom of the 9th. 1-1. Line drive, center field, base hit. Garibay comes home. Chatham wins. Cooper Ingle wins it in the bottom of the 9th for Chatham. They mob the hitter the right side. They chase him all the way into the Veterans Field outfield. It's a game-winning RBI single for Cooper Ingle, plating Guy Garibay. Chatham 3, Orleans 2 in the bottom of the 9th inning. A walk-off win for Chatham. They finally snap out of the funk. They won on the 4th of July. That snapped a skid. Winless since then. Here on the 9th of July, it always feels good to beat
Nothing
the
better
Orleans
than a
Firebirds.
walk-off.
The old
Nothing.
Against Orleans, too, in front of this crowd. And as celebration blares in the background, you might say getting to first and third, bit of a weak, soft rally, nothing soft about that game-winning hit. A laser into center field, and what a note to end on.
That was, maybe with the exception of the Orleans home run, the hardest hit ball of the night. That was wonderful content. Chip, stick around for a little bit?
Sure.
We've got the Anglers Extra postgame show coming up. That'll be brought to you, as always, by the Chatham Bars Inn. I was there earlier today. Always a wonderful experience. Wonderful experience here at Veterans Field tonight. Chatham wins it in the bottom of the 9th. Anglers Extra postgame show is next on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's, Chatham on GRC.
Hi, everybody. This is Ian Eagle of the Yes Network and CBS Sports, and you're listening to Chatham A's Baseball with Dan Duva and Guy Benson on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
When the lights go down in the city and the sun shines on the bay, I wanna be there, yeah, in my city. Oh, 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 oh.
It's the Chatham Bars and Anglers Extra postgame show. A's have won it in the bottom of the ninth, 3-2. And we've got the highlights, the line score, reaction coming up in just a moment. But first, we send it down to Diamond Side, where Guy Benson is standing with a post-game guest. Guy?
Dan, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And it was a walk-off winner here at Veterans Field for the Anglers. And the man responsible is Cooper Ingle with that base hit up the middle. Congratulations on the win. What did he throw you?
Thank you. Honestly, it was a lot better pitch.
They got him, Dan.
Oh, my God.
Gatorade bath.
Oh, my gosh. Freezing. Awesome.
Now you have to catch your breath again.
Yeah, I know.
Having run for dear life.
Just running forever. But yeah, I mean, I got a fastball over the middle part of the plate. Just stuck to my approach and stayed through the middle of the field. We had runners on first and third, so really all I had to do was get a ball in the air deep enough to get the winning run home, and luckily I hit it hard enough up the middle to where it got past the infield. So
it's been a frustrating season for this team. How does it feel to not just win a game at home against a rival team, but to do it in dramatic fashion? The crowd was into it. This has to be a morale boost for this club.
Yeah, for sure. I think even going back to the July 4th game, that win, it gives us a big morale boost and confidence boost, moving throughout the rest of the season, because we're at about halfway point or a little over, something like that. But yeah, it definitely gives our team a lot more confidence going throughout the rest of the season, especially hitting is starting to come along, and pitching's been there all year for us. So.
Yeah, the bats are coming more alive, and as you say, there's a lot of baseball still to be played out here on the Cape. What did Coach Holliday say in the scrum after the game? An upbeat message from the skipper.
Yeah, for sure. Just basically keep doing what we're doing, playing really good baseball, and just staying locked in for the rest of the summer.
Congratulations, big win.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And that is Cooper Ingle with the game-winning base hit, ripped it up the middle, and Chatham walks it off against Orleans. 3-2 your final. Dan, back to you.
All right, Guy, thank you very much. Well, as we get ready for the highlight portion of the broadcast, we first have a little tradition here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network, and that is to join our fellow New Jerseyan Bruce Springsteen on a trip down Thunder Road, so we will be doing that. But when we come back, we will have final words here from Veterans Field on a thrilling night. Chatham records its 6th win, and they do it in walk-off fashion, defeating the Firebirds 3-2 in 9 innings. Stay tuned to the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Screen door slams, Mary's dress sways. Like a vision, she dances across the porch as the radio plays. Roy Orbison singing for the lonely. Hey, that's me and I want you only. Don't turn me home again. I just can't face myself alone again. Don't you run back inside, darling, you know just what I'm here for. So you're scared and you're thinking that maybe we ain't that young anymore. Well, show a little faith, there's magic in the night. Ain't a beauty, but hey, you're alright. Oh, and that's alright with me. Your covers and study your pain. Make crosses from your lovers, throw roses in the rain. Waste your summer praying in vain for a savior to rise from these streets. Well, I'm no hero that's understood. All the redemption I can offer, girl, is beneath this dirty hood. With a chance to make it good somehow. Hey, what else can we do now? Except busted open, these 2 lanes will take us anywhere. We got one last chance to make it real. this guitar, and I learned how to make it talk. And my car's out back if you're ready to take that long walk. From your front porch to my front seat. The door's open, but the ride it ain't free. Hey, I know you're lonely, there's words that I ain't spoken. But tonight, girl, we'll be free. All the promises will be broken. Ghosts in the eyes of all the boys who sent away. They haunt this dusty beach road, the skeleton frames, burned out Chevrolet. They scream your name at night in the street. Your graduation gown lies in rags at their feet. In the lonely cool before dawn, you hear their engines roaring on. When you get to the porch, they're gone on the way. Baby, climb here. It's a town full of losers. Pull it out of here. Way.
Oh, yes. The boss says it right. Pull it out of here to win. That's what the Anglers do tonight. 3-2, the final score in 9 innings. Welcome back to the Anglers Extra postgame show, brought to you by Chatham Bars Inn. With Guy Benson, I'm Dan Duva. We've had a terrific time celebrating the 20th season of the Cape Cod Baseball Network. And boy, we had the game to boot. We welcome back to the booth as well John Schiffner, who has not been a part of these reunion broadcasts in years past because, you know, he was managing. but it has been such a delight to have you join us for this. With all the interviews and off-air conversations, we've never done this.
Yeah.
This is really special.
I can't thank you guys enough for asking me. Before I go, I want to say one more time, without what you guys accomplished 20 years ago, the media in the league would not be what it is. You guys were the, flag bearers. You just did a fantastic job, and people ran with it. You should be very proud of yourselves for what you started.
Well, thank you very much, Chef. It's a lot of fun, and I will just add that what we all have come to appreciate. I say we, I mean me, I mean Guy, but so many who have come to this field and have associated the experience the way that you have defined it. And it's so special to be part of that. You helped welcome us in. We talked about Paul Gallup and Peter Troy and Charlie Toms and so many others. To us, that is the Mount Rushmore. It's you, it's Paul, it's Peter, it's Charlie, and it wouldn't be the same for us if it wasn't for the incredible relationships that we have with you gentlemen. So thank you.
It's a lifelong thing. We're lifelong friends, and I'm so proud of you guys, what you've done in your professional careers. That it's just so good, and it started here. It started right here, and that is so neat, just so neat.
Yeah, we should tally up how many manager shows you did over the year.
A lot.
A lot.
And the bonus edition today, jumbo edition.
Yeah, and never forget when you guys showed up in that convertible. Never forget. Top down.
That's right.
Jacket and tie, and here we go.
That's right. Schiff's talking about the 2003 4th of July parade in Chatham. The A's were on their regular float, like Santa Claus, last thing in the parade, and then someone decided, well, the new broadcaster should be in the parade too. Put him in the back of a convertible. We were the last thing in the parade.
Rolling in style.
People thought we were running for office.
Oh, that was priceless. And then I said, okay, these guys got it. They got it.
Yeah.
They've got it. They're like 15 years old. They got it.
We were 18.
18, sorry, you look 15.
Yeah, well, yeah. but I think what we learned that day is what you relayed to the players just a few days ago as you came off after that pregame ceremony honoring you and your fellow retired number honorees, that the season doesn't really begin until the 4th of July against Orleans.
Hell, I go back to so many games here that were so important against Orleans, and I'll never forget the 98. The walk-off grand slam by Matt Sapicki. That to me was
I was
probably
here as a fan for that game.
That's probably to me the single most vivid memory I have of wins, because it was so spectacular. It was a gorgeous night like tonight. The place was packed, and it was just, and we get to the bases loaded. We just need to get one run in. And I don't know why I did it. I guess I did it because you're supposed to as a coach. And I walked up to Matt and I said, okay, man, get it in the outfield. he just growled something at me that was unintelligible, and I said, okay. And I go back to the dugout, and I turn around and watch the first pitch go probably almost to the center field center field road in center field. He crushed it. He absolutely crushed it. The place went crazy.
I think Paul Gallup, PA announcer at the time, and we talked about him on the broadcast earlier, he might have hit the home run siren before that ball landed.
Yeah, there was that speed there.
It was gone.
Yep, that was crushed.
Wow. Well, Schiff, thanks again for this.
Guys, thank you so much.
Really a pleasure. And what a game. What a game
It was
here.
a great game. Great win. Great win.
We'll be reminiscing about this one.
They battled. That was a great win.
Yeah. And we'll do this again in 5 years.
I will be here if you ever need guys ever need anything. We're out there in Vegas, or you need anything in New York, or where you out of Jersey.
DC.
New York. Oh, you're in DC. Oh,
yeah.
Good for you. Great place. Let me know. Let me know. Okay, guys.
We'll make some
thank
social
you.
plans here on the air.
Well, yeah, we will. You got to come over.
That's right. Yeah,
thank you, Chef.
That's
Third
right.
base is open.
That's right. Third base open. Well, that was fun.
Just terrific. And I think we still have some more work to do, including the post-game highlights. They are few and far between, but they're pretty sweet. And the highlights brought to you by the Chatham Athletic Association. Dan?
Yeah, well, here come the Anglers and the Firebirds, guy. There was not much happening top of the first. The starter for Chatham, Ben Hampton, retired the Firebirds 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Bottom of the first inning, that was not quite as easy for Donye Evans. He got the first out, but then walked 3 men in a row. Visit from the pitching coach, and then Evans got the next 2 out. Not only the next 2, then the next 3 in the second, and the next 3 in the third. Chatham had just 1 base runner until the 5th inning in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th combined. On the other side of the ledger, as we mentioned, Ben Hampton was cruising right along. He got the first 9 Firebirds without anybody. I should say it was the minimum he faced. There was a base runner, but that runner was retired on a 4-6-3 double play. Then we finally got a run across the plate. It was Orleans denting the scoreboard first, and it was the leadoff man, Travis Honeyman, who led off with a clean double down the left field line. Then up came Nate Furman with a runner on second base and nobody out.
As the 1-1 pitch is hit fair down the right field line, just over the bag, rounding third and scoring easily is Honeyman, and sliding into second base with a ribby double, Nate Furman. 1-0 Orleans in the 4th.
So that's how the first run came across. There was nearly another chance for Orleans to move a run across home plate in that 4th inning. There was a walk, a base hit, but then Austin Knight, the designated hitter, came to bat. And how about this defensive effort from the Anglers?
And the pitch is chopped right back to the mound. He will come home for 1. Relay to first is in time. 1, 2, 3. The double play ends the inning. However, Orleans does get on the scoreboard first. And Dan, that's a big moment in the game because that held it at 1-0. And if that runner had reached, or let's say the ball had gotten through, then the complexion of the game changes entirely. But that 1-2-3 double play back to the mound, and it was executed perfectly. You could hear the crowd in the background. All right, got out of that jam, and they lived to fight another inning.
Nothing much happening on the Chatham side of the scorecard. Hampton came back, got the side out, 1-2-3 in the 5th, 1-2-3 in the 6th. We got to the 7th inning, and there was a pitching change. Hampton came out, and Guy, obviously it was Hampton to start, but Molsky out of the pen. He did a pretty good job as well.
They both did.
Yeah. And so we went to the bottom of the 7th inning. This is when Chatham finally got the offense going. There was a pinch hitter, Anthony Nunez, who had started at third base, replaced by Mitchell Daly. He walks. Jake DeLeo comes up with a single. So you've got a couple of runners on base. Jack Rubenstein, the catcher, lays down a bunt. Sacrifice goes 1-3. Runners on base, second and third, with 1 man down. And up came Guy Garibay, Chatham's left fielder and leadoff hitter.
Here's a payoff. Runners lead. Pitch. Chop towards third. Charging and misplaying it is Sim. The run comes home. And the game is tied 1-1.
That would eventually be ruled an infield hit. At first it was an E5. But, Guy, that scoring change gives Guy Garibay not only a hit, but your namesake also gets a run batted in.
As a fellow Guy, I was thrilled.
There you have it. So Chatham was not done with the game tied 1-1. Marcus Brown came up looking to extend the inning for the Anglers.
As the 0-1 on its way, nubbed fair down the first baseline. There's going to be no play at first base. They tried as Reynolds came flying off the mound. He was able to glove it and flip not in time. So they did make a play. The run comes home, and Chatham has now taken a 2-1 lead on an RBI infield hit by Marcus Brown.
Daly scored and DeLeo scored. Chatham in the lead 2-1. They could not add to the lead there in the 7th as Engel struck out and Riggio grounded out. So we went to the 8th inning. Chatham in the lead 2-1, and we hadn't seen too many long balls. John Schiffner said he didn't think the ball was going to carry very far tonight, but then this happened. Molsky peering in over the top of the glove. Here's his 2-1. Lifted towards the line, left field. Garibay going back toward the track, looking up at the wall, out of here. Landing just in front of the Chatham batting tunnel. Travis Honeyman has now scored both runs for Orleans today. A solo shot ties the game 2-2 in the top of the 8th.
And you know, Dan, some Anglers fans at this point might be thinking, here we go again. After the 7-1 drubbing of Orleans here on July 4th, there was a sense, all right, maybe some fresh blood here, maybe there's a shot in the arm of this team, and then a series of frustrating ties and a defeat. 2 of the ties, Chatham had big leads, at least for this league, and blew them late in the game. And so you have the faithful here at Veterans Field saying, are we going to witness the same thing again? However, there was a happy ending to this one for the home team.
There was. Chatham could not get the run out across in the 8th inning, went to the 9th. Molsky continued to pitch well. He actually retired the last 5 men he faced after surrendering the home run. So we go to the bottom of the 9th. Remember, no ties in the Cape League this year. Guy Garibay, the leadoff man, led off the bottom of the 9th. Remember, in his previous at-bat in the 7th, he thought he might have reached on an E5. They changed it to a hit. They changed it to an RBI, and he had an opportunity to start things hot. And it looked like he was working a deep count, and then he got hit by a pitch. Garibay goes to first base. Marcus Brown manages to get himself aboard, and that was an infield hit. And then with runners on first and third, with nobody out, the batter was the designated Cooper Engel, trying to win it for Chatham. Garibay on third base. Brown on first base. A slow clap here with a fresh baseball tossed out to Telfer.
Boisterous crowd.
Trying to will the Anglers to a victory in the bottom of the 9th. 1-1. Line drive, center field, base hit. Garibay comes home. Chatham wins. Cooper Engel wins it in the bottom of the 9th for Chatham. They mob the hitter the right side. They chase him all the way into the Veterans Field outfield. It's a game-winning RBI single for Cooper Engel, plating Guy Garibay. Chatham 3, Orleans 2 in the bottom of the 9th inning. And that's all she wrote. Chatham wins it 3-2.
Some walk-off heroics there. Let's bring you the game totals. Chatham wins it. 3 runs on 7 hits, no errors. The win goes to Molsky. He improves to 1-0. The club overall is now 6-14-5. Losers tonight, Orleans, the visiting team. 2 runs on 6 hits, no errors. Telfer tagged with the loss. He drops to 0-2, and his team drops to 10-12-3. Ball game lasting 2 hours and 31 minutes here at Veterans Field before a crowd of 2,902, plus 1 Gatorade bath at the end of the game, and my right pant leg is still damp. And you know what, Dan? I wasn't expecting that. It wasn't on the bingo card today, but I'm pretty pleased with this. What an outcome. Great game and a very fun experience for us.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. And, you know, those of you who tuned in not expecting to have a couple of old people broadcasting the games instead of Joe and Ian, it's a lot of fun. But it is, I think, what we tried to touch on throughout the game when we could was the Chatham experience. It has been so special for us. And if someone was at the ball game today who had never seen a Chatham baseball game before, this is one that would keep me coming back for more. And maybe someone who'd never been to Chatham before, just at for example, the band concert last night. The band has been playing downtown for 90 years. Chatham Anglers baseball goes back to 1923. This town goes back to 1712. There's so much history here, but it's so special that on a summer night that there can be some new special memories made.
One more chapter in that history book. This was fun, friend.
Always a pleasure.
Great to be back. Tomorrow night, Chatham back in action. They're on the road facing Yarmouth Dennis, a 5 o'clock first pitch, 4:40 pregame. Joe and Ian back here where they belong. Don't worry. This was fun. Thanks for having us, everyone. Chatham, walk-off winners, 3-2.
Chatham Anglers Baseball 2022 has been brought to you by the Chatham Squire, Sweet Tomatoes Pizza, the Red Nun Bar and Grill, Short and Sweet Ice Cream, Cape Cod 5, Audio Associates, the Chatham Bars Inn, and by the Chatham Athletic Association.
Chatham Baseball, sports radio, play-by-play, summertime on Cape Cod.
This has been an exclusive presentation of Chatham A's Baseball on TRZ Team Line.
Chatham on TRZ.